Join us this week on Crazy Train of Thought, brought to you by host Ryan Wolf with Philbo, Swaggins, and Just Rachel. It is now time to discuss news in the PlayStation world and many such other accommodations and oddities. Woo! Something like that. You can swap almost everything else, and they're like, what the fuck?
Well, as soon as you get those crafting materials, you have zero reason to go do the dungeons. Fuck!
Right?
You also might be dealing with like 9-year-olds who are like, I pooped in the corner.
We're going off the rails on a crazy train of thought.
Check a look.
Welcome, everybody, to Crazy Train of Thought, brought to you by the Idiot Savants. Thank you so much for joining us today. I am your host, Ryan Wolf. We are live from Savant Studios. Joining me today, I have
Philbo Swaggins from the Shire!
Philbo Swaggins is here. Thank you for being on, Philip. It's been a while since we sat down to record a pod, but there really hasn't been too much to talk about. Tony Hawk came out. Avengers came out. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Oh, and news. We've got some news.
We got a lot of news. Excited.
And also joining me today, I have... You can say your
it's
name.
Me. I'm
Yeah.
Rachel.
Just
I thought you
shooting
were
I have here, and then just follow noise.
I thought you were going to say my name. I thought you said the name.
No.
It's me.
It's Rachel's here.
Yeah.
Rachel joins us.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Okay.
No?
All right. Well, let's get down to brass tacks here. Philip, something horrible happened to your wife.
Yes.
You want to tell us about that?
Yes. So I think it was last Wednesday. I'm getting
Pretty sure.
It was last Wednesday. So we recorded a pod, and then I talked with Troy, and then I'm driving home, and my wife calls me, and I just hear this, "Are you almost home?" And in my brain, like, I've never heard her that hysterical. I'm like, did someone break into our house or something? And I'm like, yeah, I'm almost there. What's up? And she's like, oh, the cats. And I'm thinking, oh, did the cats die? She's like, no, the cat jumped across my face and I got the light on and there was blood everywhere. And I'm like, oh gosh. So I get home and she was not wrong. There's blood everywhere.
What the fuck, man?
So our cat, Rosie, her cat, got spooked while sitting on the side table and jumped and basically platformed off her face and used her claws to make a nice cut on her lips and also kind of across, like, she got in a fight with Wolverine.
Yeah. I'm sure that's what it looks like.
And so I get back, blood's everywhere. So I clean that up. I clean her up a bit. We're both kind of like, I don't know what we should do. And it's like 1 a.m.
Right.
And I'm like, she's like, I don't want to go to work tomorrow. I'm in a lot of pain. It didn't look that bad, but I was right on the edge of does she or does she not need stitches? And I'm like, well, we're going to have to go to the doctor anyway to get a note. So let's just go to the ER.
I mean,
they're open.
Anytime with animal cuts, though,
and,
like,
yeah.
you don't know. I mean, I
Yeah.
know that they're your cats and probably they're primarily inside, but
Yeah.
fuck,
and I mean,
who knows?
Yeah, they're inside only. We had just gotten them their stuff, but I was just like, I don't know. But then I'm like, no, I'm like, we should go to the ER. So I found ones that was close. They were open and I called them. I said, hey, this. And they're like, yeah, come on by. So we went, they checked her out. And it was good that we went.
Did you call multiple ERs? Like, hey, what's the wait time there? Do you guys have a line right now?
No, because I called one because I looked up ER.
Right.
And there was one, and I just was calling to ask about information on what to do with this. Because
Right.
I still
That's a good point.
because we were cleaning stuff up and it still wasn't quite sure at that moment if she needed stitches or not.
Yeah.
I was like right there on like, I think you do, but I wasn't sure.
Right.
And then I found one that was closer to our house and I just would be like, okay, we're going to go. I'm just going to see if like they're accepting people, like, can we just come in and that's fine? Because I don't know what the COVID stuff, like, what do you need
Right.
to
What's
sign
the
up
protocol
online?
here?
Like, what's the protocol?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, just come in, answer a few questions, blah. So we go to the ER and this is like 1:30 and I've already texted my work and I'm like, I'm going to be really late.
Yeah, for sure.
My wife just got her face cut open. We're going to the ER. So we go, she's all shaky. And I mean, like when I came back home, she was white as a sheet. So I got her some Gatorade, and it stinks because like I was coming home and I brought her cinnamon twists from Taco Bell because she loves those.
Yeah.
She was slightly snacking on those because I'm like, you need to eat a little something. You lost a lot of blood. So we go in the ER, and then they get her looked at. The doctor is hilarious. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is the doctor that needs to be on the 1 a.m. shift because he's just cracking jokes, and it was great. And then he was like, have you had a tetanus shot recently? And she's like, I don't think so. And I'm like, yeah, we've been together since like 2011, and I've not seen her get one. So she's like, she should get one. And Amy's like, great, I have to get shot. I'm like, Amy, you're going to want that shot if you haven't had it.
Did she also have to get a rabies shot?
No, because we had just gotten everything done for the cats.
Okay.
So they already have that stuff.
Right. That's good.
So yeah, they're already, Rosie's already treated. So she's fine there. But he was like, yeah, because just from looking at it, he's like, yeah, that's on the verge of I'm saying, like you should. And then he showed me how bad the cut actually was.
Yeah.
You see a little cut, and then it opened up to be quite deep. And so she got
Gross.
like a pretty thick, I want to say like maybe 3 thick stitches because it had a lot of twists. So 5 stitches probably intertwined.
Fucking Frankenstein.
Well, yeah, kind of in the
God
lips.
damn.
It was getting this and that because it was all right here. It was all just bleh. And then I went to watch while he was doing the stitches because usually that stuff doesn't bother me. And I looked away because I was like, too much blood, too much gross. No, I'm good. And then while he's stitching her, he is asking questions of this information. She's trying to answer.
Right.
And I'm like, honey.
Stitches in the face.
Let me answer.
Right.
And then he's like, oh, this is just like being at the dentist. I was like, how yours day? So that was like the kind of jokes he was cracking.
Yeah.
All night. It was great. So we're kind of getting back and getting to bed at 4 a.m. And then she's just out of it. We get antibiotics, which those are horse pills.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I've ever taken a pill that big. So yeah, so we get that, we get home, we get up at 5 to call her work. And then they say that, we get the note, and then we go back to sleep.
Right.
And then I get up at noon to go do a sign install, and then I came back home and took a nap. So
Well, it's good that the cats had their rabies shots, though.
Yeah.
Because my guy,
your butt.
my friend at work, my last job, he got bit by a squirrel and a bat in the same week.
So he got rabies and corona?
Why?
What is his profession?
I don't. He works at my last job, but I don't know how he got bit by a wild squirrel and a wild bat in the same week. He said
gonna be a lame
he told me
superhero.
about the bat, and he goes, "Well, bats get into my house fairly often, and I have to get them out." And I was like, "Boy, you might want to solve that problem though before." You have to end up with another rabies shot. But he said that rabies shot was like $4,000, like something stupid. And
Any insurance coverage on that, or does he not have
I don't remember. I believe he does have insurance, but I don't remember exactly what the insurance coverage was. But he said the single shot, it's like $4,000. Like, what the fuck?
I mean, I can
This country's
understand
retarded.
even with that because again, I'm sure her thing for even what we did was crazy. It's mostly covered, which is awesome. Our copay is pretty not bad.
Good.
It's about the same as I had before when I almost cut off my thumb. Because I almost cut off my thumb. I paid $200, and when I looked at the actual itemizations, it was about $15,000.
15 grand?
Yeah.
Or 1,500?
$15,000.
Jesus.
I paid $200,
Right.
but the actual cost of the procedure, because that was, and that also really pissed me. And this is one thing I like about where we're at. Because I'm not crazy weights on ER. Mm-hmm. When I was in the other place that I lived in 2013, so south.
Yeah, of where we live.
South. I was in the ER for 3 hours holding a cloth on my thumb as my thumb is hanging on. I saw the bone.
Fuck off. All right, let's move on from all of that.
But it's fine now. I just have a scar, but it's fine now.
Good. I'm glad your thumb's still attached, Philip.
Yeah.
You're still.
Me too. I can play games.
That's what makes you human.
The doctor was like, do you know how close you were to losing your thumb and not being able to move it? He's like, you were so close. And I'm like, I want my thumb.
Yeah, you wouldn't be on a video game podcast.
I know.
bet.
I'd be like,
if that were the case.
just
You
get the
could still play.
Wii.
You just play
No
PC
thumbless
games.
people here.
I'd have to get Xbox with the stupid adaptive controller.
You would. Yeah, you'd have to convert.
No Sony for me.
Fuck, you'd have
You
to
could
convert.
just play PC games. It's fine.
Yeah, how much?
How's it gonna hit the space bar?
WSAD? How am I gonna move?
And what do you mean? You don't use
With the mouse.
You got a mouse, and you don't even need your thumb for the mouse. Really, you would probably just.
I mean, I
move
guess
your
if I didn't
finger
have
over.
a thumb, I could do.
Yeah, you could just do this. It's with your palm, really, and then you just have these. It's fine.
Just
Totally
let me
fine.
feel bad.
Okay,
Just
I'm
let
so
me feel
sorry.
bad about this fake situation.
My bad.
Wait, what? Are you lying to me? That didn't happen?
No, the fake situation, the hypothetical.
Oh,
about
was the
having a
not
thumb.
being able to.
Fake news.
Fake news.
Fake news.
Okay. All right.
Wrong.
There it is. That was wrong.
So what I've been doing recently, I kind of took a break from Ghost, not because I was disliking it, I just kind of did.
Yeah.
I do want to beat it though, because I enjoy it, but I was hard hankering to play Dark Souls. Hard hankering.
Hard hankering.
Hard hankering.
We're playing Dark
I'm
Souls.
like, man, I really want to play the original, and it was on Switch, so I'm like, that would be fun mobile.
By the original, you mean Demon Souls?
No, the original Dark Souls,
Oh, okay. The remaster, the re-release.
the quote unquote remaster.
Yeah.
It's remastered on the other consoles. On Switch, it's basically just
It still
runs
looks like
better.
shit.
Actually, since I played the original Dark Souls, it looks almost the same, a little bit better. It runs way better.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
Like frame rates
yeah.
and controls.
The controls, no.
Because
Controls are the controls are hit or miss.
Yeah.
They're not awful. They're not great. You have to get used to the fact that B is continue instead of A, and you can't swap that for some fucking reason.
Dude, remap it on the system level. I told you that last time.
I know.
That's a lot of work. I feel like
Let me complain.
Okay, all right.
not everybody spends 12 hours setting up things just the way they like them. Like, you also have to do cost efficiency analysis of that. And, like,
I don't know
is
what that
it
means.
worth it to put in all this time up front for no fucking reason when I can't even?
No. The fucking reason is that I want to play the games a certain way.
By the time you do that, like, how much enjoyment am I missing out by having to do that right now? Is it 20 minutes? Because it's probably not worth it. I could just spend the 20 minutes playing the game.
They should just let you change it in the in-game menu. You can
Yeah.
change other buttons, just not those. There are a multitude of buttons that you can't change, but those two you can't for some fucking reason. It literally is just back and continue. You can't swap them. You can swap almost everything else, and they're like, "What the fuck?"
What's
but-
the frame rate on a Switch?
On that, it's pretty
22?
consistent around 30. I've not noticed crazy dips because I mean, it looks closer to what was the PS3 and 360, so it should run decent. It looks and runs worse docked.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Odd.
Which I mean, it's probably trying to pump it out to like a 1080.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So
yeah, that's probably why.
it's-
Instead of being in
Yeah,
720, it's probably
720,
1080.
and it feels better on the dock. Like I was playing it on the
Off the dock or on the dock?
That's what I meant.
Okay,
Off
yeah,
the dock. It feels a lot better off the dock with the grip. And then I was playing it docked, and I'm like, I don't like this. I don't like this. Oh,
I got one of those grips that you got for
Oh,
your
the Zenny
Switch.
grip
yeah.
thing?
Yeah, that's really
isn't
nice.
that like a
Super
game
nice.
changer?
Yeah.
It-
Because
oh.
I was playing at night. I've been playing Elder Scrolls Blades, and like my arms fall asleep with my other grip, and like the kink of my wrist,
Yeah, 'cause it's
like
not
cramps up.
ergonomic.
No,
it
it's
just doesn't
terrible.
feel right.
So way better with those grips. That was a good call.
Yeah, we'll have to talk with them and be like, hey guys, we really like stuff.
Yeah, we'll get
Just
to
like, come on.
partnership.
Yeah, partnership.
So Dark Souls runs pretty well.
Runs pretty well. I mean, I know a lot of it. I'm still early in the beginning, but I did beat the early on bosses, which was fun. I still kind of remember some of the little tips and tricks. I'm not noticing anything control-wise that is really bad. I've gotten used to some of, because doing the triggers is definitely more awkward with the Switch because it's chunkier and you're used to like this, and you got to be really on those triggers.
Right,
So
right.
I'm kind of
And
having
they're smaller too
Yeah.
on the Switch. Yeah.
I'm kind of having to play slower.
Okay.
Because you got to be a bit more meticulous and be more careful. And I'm like,
What do the triggers do? What do you need the triggers
okay,
for?
so on the bumpers and the trigger, so there's trigger bumper.
Right.
The top bumpers, which This is the thing. I like the triggers, don't like the bumpers.
Okay.
Those ones are a little bit more awkward to hit. But on the left side, you press the top bumper to hold your shield, and then you press the trigger to counter and slap the shield. But then you can also, if you're holding something else, like if you had a wand, you'd throw out a spell, or if you had the bow, you would equip it and then shoot arrows.
So those are your counters. Those got to be timed perfectly
Yes.
then. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So what's the counter's easy. The trigger's good. The triggers are good. On the right side, the bumper is your fast attack. The trigger is your heavier attack.
Okay.
They are not as comfortable as a regular controller, but it's not awful when you get used to it. And with the grip I have is better.
Yeah.
So it's more just I'm playing this a bit more casually just to kind of have Dark Souls on the go.
Yeah.
And just kind of have more fun with it. So I'm taking it slow by slow, be like, okay, I want to beat this area. So I'll play that and then stop. Whereas before, it was kind of just like go ham and then stuff. And so, and it was kind of cool to remember some of the stuff I remember before. Like there's a guy named Havel who's this really strong motherfucker. But if you bring him to the top of the tower and walk out the door, he'll just start going backwards because he doesn't want to leave the tower, and you can just throw shit at him. And so I did that to kill him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bitch. And then you get his ring, which the reason you want to kill him is because his ring increases your equip load by 50%. So you then can
Nice.
roll better,
Cool.
which, yeah, that was like the main important
Spoiler.
thing.
Yeah,
Spoilers. Oh.
Fucking. I'll hit it.
We got fucking spoilers.
Thanks, Philip.
Oh yeah, fucking 10-year-old game. Oh no, remaster. It's not even Dark Souls 3.
Well, I'm glad you've been enjoying Dark Souls on the Switch there. I've also been playing an RPG, if you can call it that, on the Switch. I mentioned just a second ago I've been playing Elder Scrolls Blades. And I downloaded this a while back, kind of on a lark. I don't have the Skyrim or the Switch version of Skyrim.
On a lark?
Yeah.
What's a lark?
Like a whim,
Oh,
basically.
okay.
So
You made that up.
I didn't.
Not a word.
Is that Letterkenny or something?
A word.
Oh my God.
Hark!
But yeah, Elder Scrolls Blades, it's the Switch version of the mobile game that has been on iOS and Android for a little while. And I've bitched plenty of times about how the controls on the Switch aren't great. But if you play a port of a mobile game on Switch, it is so much better. It feels really, really good to play, which is probably why I keep checking in with it. Like it has a bunch of mobile game hooks. Like you download the game, not super invested in the story or anything like that. But the attack, like the combat sequences are totally different from any other Elder Scrolls game. So it's not open world. You have linear levels that you explore. And then in the combat sequences, one enemy at a time can attack you. And to block, you have to time your blocks on the triggers, and then you swipe with well, I guess it's not a swipe, it's a swipe on the screen, but like you block with the left trigger and then you swipe with the left and right bumper, something like that. But anyways, those controls mapped to the Switch controller actually feel really good, and the timing is the thing that matters. And in this game, they also introduced elemental damage. So not only do you have just like regular swords and clubs and daggers and all these other things, but now you have like the Spriggans, the tree enemies. They're resistant to shock damage, but are vulnerable to fire damage because they're made of wood. So use a fire sword if you have one against those. And there's also different styles of weapon in terms of like one does cleaving, one does bashing, and the other one does slashing, I think is the last. So there's 3 different types of damage that come from a weapon. And like a sword does slashing damage, and an axe does cleaving damage, but a mace does bashing damage. So each different enemy has a weakness to one of those types. So it's almost like it's not turn-based, but it is kind of turn-based in that you only battle one enemy at a time, and that stuff matters way more than it does in Skyrim.
Kind of has like D&D rules when it comes to
A little
weapon
bit.
damage.
Yeah. And so that makes it so like the weapon that you're carrying, just because it has the highest DPS doesn't mean that should be the weapon that you use all the time. You might have a lower powered weapon that would be better against X enemy. So it's better to have at least one of each style of like cleaving, slashing, and bashing damage. And then there's a tier system, which that's been in Elder Scrolls for a long time. Like, your remarkable mace and shit like that, where it's the different colors and stuff as it goes up in the tiers. And a lot of that's kind of a mobile game hook too, because that comes with the loot that you find in the dungeons. But you can't, like, when you start off, you're in a town and you can't like exit that town. So you can't just like walk in a direction and leave. And you can't enter any of the buildings. The shopkeepers are all outside of the buildings, but what's cool about Blades is that it makes you build up that town. So when you get there, that town has been destroyed by the bad guy. And you are a former member of the Blades, then they turned on you, and now everybody's mad at the Blades, and the Blades are from, they're like the people that protected the king from oblivion. That is like the covenant that protected the king. If you remember back to the beginning of Oblivion, those are the people that like got the king out of the city. And you're a member of them. And I don't really know what time frame this takes place in. I'm not really up on my Elder Scrolls lore, and I'm not really sure that this matters. Because you don't like the stories what the fuck ever anyways. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, you can't exit the town. You have to choose quests from a menu rather than like, I'm going to walk and do this quest and like follow a path to get there. So it just loads you into a quest. You explore that dungeon, exit the dungeon, put you back into town, sell the loot you've accrued, rinse and repeat. So you guys made fun of me for a long time on this podcast because I spend money on games. So I've made it a super point to not spend any money. So I've spent $0 on Elder Scrolls Blades so far. I've been tempted.
And you're like, it would be so much better if not.
Well, like, also a lot
I want
of
that horse armor.
Yeah, you can't ride a horse in this game, but
They'll still sell it.
I'll take the horse armor. So I've been tempted, but a lot of that stuff, it's the same mobile game hooks, right? Like, pay $5 and we'll give you a ton of crafting materials. Well, as soon as you get those crafting materials, you have zero reason to go do the dungeons because you're doing the dungeons to accrue the crafting materials and get that loot. Like,
Yes, but see, instead of playing
loop.
the game, you could just spend money.
I know, and that's why I haven't yet. Like, I'm okay with spending money on cosmetics.
But instead of playing the game, you could spend money. Give me $5 and then I'll play it for you. That's what the game says.
Auto play. Just have it auto explore dungeons and give me the. I might do that. I might do that.
It's literally botting.
I might do that.
Just legal.
So, but that's not really on console so much. That's more of an MMO thing, right?
Listen, Final Fantasy 12 had the Gambit system, which is basically that.
Gambit was in Final Fantasy 12?
Not the superhero.
He's a Cajun boy.
No, they had a system where you could like set up parameters for your combat, and then every time you went into combat, your characters would just fight for you. So you don't have to click anything.
That would be okay.
I mean, if you were grinding, I guess.
Well, I'm grinding the fuck out of Elder Scrolls Blades.
I know.
Right now. And it does like daily quests, and there's daily like collect 2 wooden chests and pick up 7 things to eat. Like super easy.
Spend $5.
So
Super easy stuff.
So fun.
But like it's kind of nice to just go in there, play it for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, do some of those daily quests and be done with it for the rest of the night cuz the load times on Avengers are it's fucking atrocious. So I've been playing Elder Scrolls Blades while also playing Avengers during the load times and the times where I'm waiting for other things in the game. We'll go over that next week when we do our full-blown episode. But Elder Scrolls Blades on Switch is okay. If you can avoid, I would avoid any of the like mobile game hooks and shit like that. The combat is pretty fun. They give you it gives you reasons to keep that stuff interesting. And I'm just now to the point where like I'm running into perhaps a pay ceiling for like a free to play ceiling where maybe the grinding isn't really doing it so much and I have to get into the pay thing.
Only
and
$5.
as soon as that happens, I'm done. I'm not putting any money into this game. It's not worth it. I'm not paying Bethesda more money. I already bought Fallout 76, played it for all of 45 fucking minutes. So I'm not spending more money putting that into Bethesda's pocket. They already fucked me on that game. Elder Scrolls Blades
times the price. With
not
no detail.
Not a math podcast.
You thought I was going to say 16 times the detail, but I didn't.
I didn't.
I don't know, because that's what he said. 16 times the detail. And it was 16 times less the detail. Yes, the number was right, but the wrong way.
Right.
16 times the God rays, though.
I don't know why, but this thought made me laugh, where it's like the whole thing with the horse armor. It's like in this game, since you don't have a horse, you can still buy the horse armor, and it's just like a rack in your house that just displays it.
Well, you don't have a house. Can't go into any houses.
Well, yeah, it's in the window. Buying that gives you a window to look in and see the horse armor.
So you can, like, part of this game is rebuilding the town. So like I said, when you get there, the town's destroyed.
And you spend like $500.
You as the quester, like, okay, build this dwelling. Build the smith shop.
I'm not going to build a well.
Build the workshop. Build the alchemist. Like, you have to tell the town to build those things. Town square, although I don't know what the town square does. They fucking make you build that first.
The square.
It does zero, I don't know.
It sounds like Animal Crossing for Blades.
Yeah. I'm all right with that, I guess. Maybe I'd like Animal Crossing. I don't know.
I've never pegged you for someone to like that type of game.
Yeah. It's okay. I'm all right with it so far.
Do they give you any discounts after you build their shops? Probably not.
Well, not necessarily discounts, but like as your town grows in number of buildings, so like dwellings and the shops and stuff like that, your town also levels up. So you level up, your town levels up, and then the individual shops also level up. And you have to put in resources for them to level up. And when they level up, they have more gold, so you can sell more loot to them at one time. They have a higher tier of item that they can craft. So right now I just have like iron, steel, and hide stuff that my forger guy, blacksmith, can craft.
Just go to the blacksmith and he's be like, look, sire, I know that you made this place for us, and I know you really need this sword and you can beat the king with it, but you got to pay me like 500 gold for it. And it's like, why? It's like, well, I know you need it to save all of us, but you still got to pay. Our town will be destroyed if I don't have that sword. Well, that's not my problem. You can just build the town again.
He's getting the fuck out of there with that 500 gold.
Yeah.
He can give a fuck.
That's how it goes so often.
Gotta
It's
get his.
Here's the Kingslayer sword, 500 gold.
It's more than that. It's actually a lot of gold. But gold isn't the thing that's hanging me up. It's the resources that go into that. Like copper is a fairly rare resource that you can find in chests while exploring dungeons. And that really seems to be the one where like, I don't have a lot of copper. So copper seems to be holding me back trying to get the, and I build the other things.
You got to build a mine.
Well, I just built a workshop. A workshop is where you can buy copper, and it says that in the description when you build the workshop. So I built the workshop, and I'm like, fuck yeah, I can buy copper. But not at the tier that I'm at. So I have to upgrade my workshop in order to be able to buy copper in order to upgrade my blacksmith.
I can see it on the shelf.
Fuck.
Sorry.
Damn it.
You're not in the tier. I can't open it.
So
I can't open the box.
rebuilding the town
There's
is
not even a
kinda
lock
cool.
on it.
I can't open
it. I'm sorry. It's the rules. If you had $5, I could open the box for you. But
$5 opens the box.
What's in the box? Copper.
So I have not found a way to like just buy copper for real money. You can buy crafting elements, but they sell them in packs. So all that seems to be like, hey, either spend X amount of emerald gems on this singular loot box, or buy X amount of crafting materials with X amount of money.
I guess at some point, even though we're not a math podcast, you'd have to do a breakdown of the amount of time it takes you to like get the resources versus how much you would be paid at your job.
Oh, for sure.
To then be versus what it would cost to just pay them and be like, well, this will take me 5 hours, which is not worth what I'm paid. So yeah, I'll give them $5. Why play games? I'll just pay someone to unlock my stuff for me.
Well, that's kind of like the Avengers thing. So we talked about last week the Battle Pass.
Yeah.
And I've been playing some Avengers. I won't go deep into it or anything, but I read an article, I think it was Ars Technica, that did a breakdown of how long it would take you to unlock the cosmetic items for each character. There are 40 tiers for each character, and it would take about 2 months to do all 40 tiers per character.
But how much actual playtime is that?
And, it's a fuck ton. Because I have been playing for, probably 20, 30 hours.
Jeez.
Do you know how many tiers I have?
Character?
0 tiers. I have 0 tiers on any of my characters because it's not progress through the game. It's only challenges, and it's time challenges that reset every 14 to 24 hours. So once you're done with those time challenges, if you don't make it in that time frame, it just resets and you've got to start all over again. It is a fucking nightmare.
So not only do you have to pay $10 just to have access.
Yes. You have to pay $10 to have access to that battle pass, and then you have to dump
the worst battle pass.
It is the worst ever for sure.
I mean, frick, even in Call of Duty, if you have the battle pass, and then even if you're playing multiplayer, you still get a little bit on it just for playing.
Just for playing. And in Call of Duty, they give you like free tiers here and there.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, here's a tier of battle pass. You unlock this while playing multiplayer.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, thanks. I have 0 fucking unlocked things from their fucking battle pass. And I probably have at least 30 hours into this game.
This game should have been.
It is a
Free-to-play.
fucking nightmare.
It is a premium ass.
I actually don't know how to buy the battle pass, so no, I didn't.
Well, no, you only do that for the new characters. The battle pass system is with every character.
Oh, you're right.
But the
We did
ones in
talk
the game
about
are
that last
included for free because fuck.
It is a fucking nightmare. There's a lot that I don't really like about playing that game, and we'll go into that.
Does it feel like it should have just been a free to play game? That's what I got from it with all the crap in it.
I don't know. I don't.
$60 buy-in seems pretty heavy.
I don't want to go into it.
He's like saving up, writing notes, and doing the whole.
I am. I have fucking notes. I've got a whole list of like grievances. This is Festivus, motherfucker. I'm gonna tell you exactly what's wrong with Avengers next week.
I highly doubt I'll have any time. But if I get a little, I'll try to hop on it.
Please jump into it. And I want you to tell me if you think the beginning of that game is as bad as I think it is.
Well, I mean, it was almost the same as the beginning of the beta, and I already said that was awful. So
it gets worse. Like the beta's one thing, the beginning gets worse.
I know. The problem is the only character I want to play is so long into the game. I'm like, I don't even want to start. There's one character I want to play as, and it's the last one. Oh, of course.
I am really pretty upset at a lot of the positive reviews on this game because I am not as hot on it as most fucking critics have been. I don't know what the fuck.
We need to get Troy to play it so he can be like, hey, it's so much fun.
I love Troy to death, but he is not a critical person. I love you, Troy.
We love you, Troy. It was a joke. This is a joke.
No, it's not. It's not a joke. Troy is not a critical person, and it's okay. Like, Troy likes the things that he likes. It's fine. I'm not dogging Troy for not being critical. It's okay.
I mean, I kind of was dogging on him because I was kind of serious when I was like, I wonder if he's going to like Last of Us 2.
Oh, yeah.
I got that text when he's like, I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like
Troy
it.
did not like Last of Us 2, and that surprised me.
That's how you know it's bad.
That's how you know it's bad. If Troy doesn't like something, fuck, that's bad.
Jeez, we railed into it for 3 hours.
Yeah.
You know it's bad.
Yeah, that was bad. Let's move on from that.
Yes.
I played a little bit of Tony Hawk. We can maybe get to that if we have a little bit of time here. But Rachel, you've been playing Among Us, and you made me buy it on my phone, download it. I did buy it the ad-free version because I'm not looking at ads.
So much fun.
You have to buy an ad-free version?
I did buy an ad-free version.
They have an ad version?
The regular version on the Google Play Store has ads in it.
How many monies is that?
$2
How
for the
many
ad.
monies is the ad-free version?
Well, $0.
Wait, no, that doesn't make sense. You
No, I was saying the one with ads is $0 and the one ad free is $2.
Oh,
Yes.
that's fair.
So I paid $2
To not to see ads.
to not to see
Good
ads.
choice.
Yeah.
I don't even know where the fuck you'd put ads, but okay.
I don't know
Just
either.
Running around with a
'cause
little
I didn't
bean,
play it.
and it's got a fucking
Probably in
Tell-
between.
Nike sign on its
No,
head.
it would be in between rounds.
fuck is that?
This isn't NB. This isn't the 2K shit.
That's what I'm saying. What the
Gatorade.
You're just
Fucking-
Gatorade bottles and like McDonald's fries.
No, what they'll
running
do
around.
is they'll just start like merchandising the weapons that they kill people with, so that will be the branding.
Yeah.
Get like a Nike crowbar. Just do it.
Can I get a Valve crowbar instead, please?
No, it's gonna be Nike. It's gonna be Nike.
All right. What, is it shaped like the Nike swoosh just upside down?
Yep,
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
machete.
Fucking Grim Reaper.
That's what I'm saying.
All right. Tell us what Among Us is, because I have seen a little bit about this game, but I have no idea.
So you're a bean, and then there's a bunch of other beans that are other players. There's about, you want like 10, so you plus 9. And then 2 people, well, you can make it 1, 2, or 3. There's a bunch of, like, you can set it up however you want, really. But, like, preferably 2 people that are traders. And then you're in a ship or whatever. And the 8 people that are not traders have to go do tasks.
A spaceship?
Well, it's a spaceship. It's a,
Like a volcano.
sure. you
Like
could-
it looked kind of like it was a volcano type.
They
thing.
got, like, different maps. They're
Okay.
just maps.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know that they could do 3 imposters. I had just seen it with 1 and 2.
Yeah, they have 1, 2, and 3, and then you could play with like 4 people if you want with 1 imposter. But that's
4
asking
people,
for
3
trouble.
imposters. I wonder who it is.
Yeah, it's asking for trouble. You pretty much lose then.
Yeah.
No, they won't let you start the game with that many people. But basically, the good people try to do tasks so that they can fly away, or whatever the current map situation is: explode, fly away, whatever. Yeah. And then the 2 people that are imposters, or 3, or 1, or whatever, have to go around and kill everyone, and then convince everyone that they didn't do it. That's pretty much the game.
Okay, so what's the perspective? Third person, first person?
Third person.
Okay.
Top down.
So top-down view, all right.
Yeah.
And why don't the other people just tell people they were killed by X person?
Because once you die, you can't talk.
Okay.
And it's sort of like the honor system, except for if you're in Discord, it's the honor system. If you're in like a random lobby, those people physically can't type in the chat. I mean, they can, but only other people that are dead can see you. There's a little bit of cheating that happens where like me and Michael will be playing with each other, and then we're in a lobby of like 8 other random people, and like he knows who the killer is because he's dead, but I don't know who it is yet because
Right.
I'm not dead. So you got to use the honor system basically in rando groups.
Okay.
Because otherwise, and then sometimes every once in a while, we actually played in a lobby where a dude was like, "It's gray." My friend told me. What the fuck, you idiot? Go fuck yourself. You
Like,
ruined
is
the
that
game.
fun?
So,
is that
wait.
fun? Is that fun?
Who?
No, we
how do
kicked
you?
him out.
How do you win?
You got to make it so if you're the crewmates, which are the people that are not the imposters, you have to complete your tasks, or kick out all of the imposters, which are the bad guys. And if you're the imposters, you
Kick
have
them out of the ship?
Yep. You basically go
Vote.
Get the fuck out of here, and you kick them out into space.
Okay, there's a vote.
There's a vote process. So once
Okay.
somebody dies, someone reports a body, or you can call an emergency meeting if like it's been a minute and you can't find any bodies, but you think someone might be dead, or
Like
someone's
Survivor.
following you to kill you and you think they're going to kill you. You can call an emergency meeting. And then basically voting happens, which is everyone discusses what they were, where they were, which tasks they were doing, if they did or didn't see Billy Bob, and do they think Billy Bob killed him because Jeffrey thinks he did, that sort of stuff. And then you vote, kick somebody, or you can skip vote if you're not sure yet. But once you get down to equal number of imposters and crewmate, the imposters win, because then all they have to do is kill one person and they outnumber. So as your imposters outnumber your crewmates, you lose if you're the
Okay.
crewmate. And then if you're the imposter, you win.
Okay. And what do you get if you win?
Bragging rights.
Okay.
It's just like
I
any
think
other
there's
game.
leaderboards too for like win-loss ratio.
So this seems like that chat would have to like you'd have to type a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So in random groups, it's actually pretty difficult
Yeah.
to like locate people, because you also might be dealing with like 9-year-olds who are like, I pooped in the corner. And it's like, okay, I
There's
have
not even
no
a pooping
idea.
mechanic, you piece
Yeah.
of shit.
Talking about in the game or real
Right,
life.
yeah,
I
like-
pooped in the corner.
So it's not super great
Nobody
when you
puts
do
poop in the corner.
randoms. But
The toddler did.
if you get a group of like in game, even if you have like 6 players, it's probably still pretty fun.
Okay.
But yeah, to have a bunch of your friends with you and try and turn on each other, it's real good.
And as
We played like the streamers play where everybody's silent in the lobby and nobody can talk until the voting process. We actually allow each other to talk in the Discord. We just can't talk about the game. So that's super fucking hard.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
you'll just be doing your task and then someone will come. There's like an animation where it makes a really loud screechy noise and you die. So as a screecher myself, when it happens, it's like, "Get!" And then you can't say anything. And you have to proceed as if like nothing just happened to you.
Seems like it'd be better if you were muted.
Oh, 100, that's what you should do. Yeah, 100%. But
Have
we
you
don't
been
do
like,
that.
hey, can we just mute?
We did do a couple rounds and it's fun, but like people in our Discord get to play together, not to like win a game or whatever, but just like shit talk.
Yeah.
So they get sad if like we don't talk the whole time. So, but it would be a better game if you don't talk, I would think.
how long do matches usually last?
It depends if you got shit imposters and shit crewmates. If you have
Okay.
shit imposters or shit crewmates, it can last forever. And
Okay.
you will always lose.
Sure.
Either way. And then if you have shit imposters, it's the fastest game ever. And then if you have shit crewmates, you're gonna lose, and you have to go through like 10 people dying, which takes a while. 'Cause
Seems
there's a
like
kill
maybe
timer
like 1 to 5 minutes is probably the time frame
for.
for the games.
Oh
Like,
no!
If quick could be, maybe. I've seen, because I've watched a lot of people stream it, which has been fun. So I guess like a good match, it could be 5 minutes. It depends. From what I've
Yeah.
seen, some of them are like they end so quick, and some of them are like 20 minutes long.
Yeah. I'd say it depends. And also it depends on, because you can set like kill timers and discussion timers and stuff like that. And if every discussion that you have is 45 seconds, that adds a minute every
Right.
time you have to talk about an imposter
Right.
or a death. So you're looking at quite a bit of minutes there.
Right. Wow.
Probably
We
10
need
minutes.
to do a play
minimum.
of it on the pod.
We sure
for
do.
sure.
Yep.
Like do a stream. Oof.
I'm good with that.
So much fun.
That would be good. But yeah, it's fun. Everyone should play it. Unless you're sensitive, then don't play it.
Play it.
I think it's on Steam and iOS and Android right now as the only 3 platforms. As I looked for it on Switch and it wasn't on there.
They should spread it. That can't be a hard game to put on other things.
Well, I would imagine it's probably
I
a
don't
pretty
think
small team.
they even thought about it, honestly. I don't
It
think
might
that team
happen now since the
anticipated that
game kind of
explosion.
blew up.
Yeah, I don't think they anticipated the explosion.
I mean, it's a cool idea for sure.
Well, it's not the first of its kind to do that, but like,
I mean, it's basically Mafia.
yeah, it's
Which
Mafia.
is Mafia,
it's Project
Werewolf.
Winner. There's a ton of them.
Yeah. There's like an
But-
old phone game that was very similar to that where it's just text based.
Yeah.
But I think it's satisfying because you're like a little bean. And it also came out at the same time that Fall Guys did, which is also the bean game.
Right.
So double
And they give
bean.
you stupid fucking little hats and stupid shit like that. And it's like super satisfying to be like, I got an egg on my head. And it's real cute. And just like the way that the character moves is satisfying. The tasks are satisfying. It's all real satisfying. They did everything right, which is weird because it's super simple, but it's real good.
I saw that it kind of visually looked like Fall Guys, not in that, like Fall Guys is 3D, obviously, and you're running around like a 3D rendered world, whereas Among Us is more of a 2D drawn kind of look. But they did look, kind of round characters, and yeah, that was, I doubt that was intentional, but it was just good timing for sure. This fucking cat.
He's a big
Oh my gosh.
No, he's should go away.
This is where we blow up. The Optimus cam.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
The Optimus butt.
Get out of here. Come on. Come on.
Roll out.
Yeet.
Stupid cat.
There was one clip I saw that was so funny where this kid joined a group and said it was his birthday. So they all put on birthday hats and then they all immediately voted him off. And he wound up actually being an imposter in that round. And then he left the game. You can't all vote him out on his birthday. And then they did.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's good. They got fun stuff like that too, where people just fuck around. It's real good. The memes are good.
Yeah. I've seen a handful of them on my Instagram feed. Nothing on Twitter yet, though.
But you don't follow the right people.
Like, well,
because I
Story of my life.
I watched a couple people kind of bounce around because I first saw PewDiePie play it, which he was playing it with a crap ton of YouTubers. So it was PewDiePie, Jacksepticeye, Roomy Official, Jaden Animations, like all these people were kind of boy in a band. Like you people might know who I'm talking about. You guys might not, but
I do.
A lot of pretty up there. I'm like, wow, I'm surprised they're all playing together. So it was super funny to have all these random YouTubers come together and just have them fuck around with each other.
Yeah.
Like, it was him. No, it wasn't.
That's pretty good.
So
I'd never
And PewDiePie's
seen,
funny anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'd never seen Jack before or heard his voice. So that's like, I really like his voice. He's got a nice voice.
oh yeah. He we actually saw him in a show. It was super funny because he's a very, very, very animated Irishman. So he's super loud. And in the beginning, he like gets down up in front of stage and is like, I'm gonna read you guys some poetry. I don't fucking do poetry. And then he just got up and did the rest of his show. It's really funny.
Not bad.
But yeah, so I was enjoying watching that. And I'm like, I want to play this game.
Yeah,
It
you
seems
could
so
join our
fun.
Discord and then you could play with us.
I will have to do that.
Yeah.
I will have to do that.
Stream it. I can get mad. Be like, fuck, I keep dying. How do I vent?
I wish I could stream. That would be fun.
You should stream it, Philip.
I would. I mean, I
Yeah,
have a
for
computer
sure.
that could definitely do it.
Good idea.
Faux show.
Well, I think the news is probably going to take a little while, so let's end this segment a little bit early.
I gotta pee.
Okay. We'll talk about Tony Hawk next week, probably. Touch on that. I got Avengers 2.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we'll come back and talk about Tony Hawk. All right. Be right back. All right. Welcome back from break, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us here. I don't think I'm going to talk about Tony Hawk. I will say Tony Hawk is good. You should play it. It's worth the $40 price tag. And I want to get Troy's thoughts on it. So we'll do an official like run through of Tony Hawk once we can get Troy back on the pod. Troy's in Texas.
Yeah.
This is a planned vacation. It wasn't an impromptu trip to Texas. A motherfucker just be taking trips everywhere. But now we are going to get to a little segment we like to call a news with Idiot Savants.
Breaking news from host Ryan Wolf.
Sony announced the PS5 and pre-orders are live now.
Yeah, well,
Well,
they were.
they were. I don't know. That's the news.
Yeah, that's the thing that happened. PlayStation had a showcase.
PlayStation Showcase. They didn't really have a name for it other than that.
I think that's all.
The
it was.
PlayStation Showcase.
PlayStation
Okay.
Showcase, yeah.
Sounds good. So they talked about open the showcase with a PC rendered version of Final Fantasy 16.
Did they say when that was coming out? Was it 2022?
2021.
2021, I think, but it's not running on PS5 right now.
Wait, I don't know that there was a date.
There may not.
If it's
have
not
been a
running
date.
on the PS5 yet, I would say that's got to be 2022.
I would think.
I may have made that up. That might not be true. Might be later. They might not give it a date.
So I am not a Final
Unknown.
Fantasy fan. What do you guys think? What'd you guys think of Final Fantasy 16?
Wait, is that the trailer that made you a fan, or are you talking about like you played 7?
No, I have never played Final Fantasy.
I've never played
So
a
I am not a
Because-
fan of Final Fantasy, is what I was trying to say.
Oh, okay, because you just said I am now a fan.
No, I'm not. Sorry.
I liked. Well, okay, I guess I would say the one that I would like is 10 because it plays just like Third Age, which I played for a little bit. I got into 7 a little, but didn't play much. I heard 15 was awful, and then 7 had like the combat of 15, but made better. So this one should then be better.
Oh,
So-
you think Square
Yeah.
will keep making better games?
Well,
That's where you're wrong.
Well, they also, the people who they have doing the combat, they brought in a very good person. I'd have to look up who it was, but it was the guy who did Dragon's Dogma, which I really liked. Maybe did some influences with Devil May Cry stuff. He had some good stuff under his belt for helping with the combat.
Those are
So,
both Capcom games, so
yeah.
good for them.
Which I like Dragon's Dogma, other than the fuck all difficulty in that game, but everything else I liked in it. So
So 16 though. We'll talk about
Yes,
Yeah,
16.
Final
That's
Fantasy
what I'm
16.
saying. Like
He's
that
talking about
director.
the combat in
Yeah, the
16.
combat in 16.
Oh,
The
that guy
director,
is
yes.
doing the
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
why I was mentioning it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the guy.
Boy, we
who-
got a little off topic there, but I see you brought it
Yeah,
back.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah. That the combat director in 16. So that's what I was saying. Like combat's getting better.
Oh.
They started at 15, which people liked, but had a lot of issues. 7 took 15's combat and made it better. This is looking to continue that trend of just trying to make it better. And then they're bringing in a combat director who's been doing that shit really good for a while.
Okay.
So this is
Good.
seeming good.
All right. And we didn't get
Yeah.
any really great glimpses at gameplay. There looked like there was some combat gameplay in there.
Yeah.
Not really any sort of HUD though. Just
nothing.
was a character on screen swinging a sword all around.
Oh, you need.
And yeah,
Swing
I
that
guess that's all
sword.
you need. I am not up on my Final Fantasy lore.
Yeah, I don't think they're
you
that
guys-
connected.
No, just this is its own thing, standalone.
It's kind of like
kinda deal.
it is a universe, and there are laws that work in all of them. So there's like themes, but I don't know if any of them are really that connected.
Okay.
I think when they are, they're like 13-2, 13-1, 13-3, lightning returns, stuff like that.
Stop it.
Otherwise,
No.
they are not
Yeah.
directly story related that I've seen. So yeah,
So what'd you think of 16, the trailer though?
I don't know.
Yeah. You're a fan of Final Fantasy.
Yep, I have a trend with Final Fantasy where I don't finish the game.
I mean, that's not I wouldn't put that against you. They're
Par
big
for the
games.
course in this house.
Well, what had happened was I played Final Fantasy X, and then my friend overrode my progress
Oh.
3 times.
Oh,
And then I played Final Fantasy 12, and that happened again with the same friend. So I was not allowed to touch my games anymore. But I played 13, didn't beat it. Then played 13-2, didn't beat it. I get to like the last boss, and I'm like, wow, this is too hard. And then I give up. That's what I do. Then
I
I
don't even
played
care.
14, and I didn't get very far in that one.
14's the MMO
MMO.
type that
Yeah, I didn't get very far in that one, regardless of the fact that like it feels like a good MMO and like it should be fun to play, but I get to like the level where it's not great to play, and then I just stop playing. And then in 15, I got to the last boss and didn't beat it. And now 16, I'm full carrying on my legacy. That's what I'm playing.
Yeah, you
Play a
can't
little
beat
bit,
it,
but not beat it,
obviously.
yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Because then what? Then what? I don't even now. Do I have to go back and beat the other ones? Like I bought 10 and 10-2 remastered for the PC, and I'm not gonna beat them. So it's just my way. I don't know though. It depends on the combat a lot. Was 15 the one where you like jumped up and held onto a thing to recover health, or am I thinking of a different game?
I mean, that sounds like 15.
You have a car.
I mean, they looked like
15.
K-pop
I remember 15.
guys. Like
I
they were
just
all
remember-
very fancy hair.
No, I remember
There's the
15.
giant turtle, I think.
I don't remember the
good-looking hair.
combat. Oh, what game am I thinking about? I can't remember if that's the combat or not, but I feel like it is. And if that's the case, I hope
It
they
wasn't
don't do that
turn-based.
again.
It wasn't
No.
turn-based.
I know they haven't had a turn-based one for a while, but like I feel like 15 was the one where you had to like jump up and like reserve, and then you would regain health. I did not like that mechanic.
I think that is probably something that was in 15. I mean, I'm sure we'll be corrected if we're wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let us know,
But
listeners.
I do know that a lot of issues people had with 15 were resolved in 7, and
I
they're
should play
kind of
7.
moving that towards. I'm waiting to see if, because obviously they're going to continue making it. I don't know if it's going to be 2 or 3 parts, and I'm just hoping that like the PS5 and the Series X will get a complete edition.
Oh.
Then I'll drop into it. And I'm also still kind of salty about Sephiroth's voice actor, because his was amazing before, and the new guy's okay, but not to the same cold, creepy, just perfectness. Because it was Superman before, and it's Superman again, but not as good of a Superman.
Fair enough.
I thought the Chocobos looked really good.
In the
In that
16
trailer.
yeah.
Yes.
There were moments
Good-looking
when I was like,
Chocobos.
"Dang, this looks really good," and then I was like, "Dang, this looks like ass."
I think
Definitely the beginning stages.
CGI versus
Yeah.
actual gameplay, probably. So yeah, that happened, and it is a thing that's going to come out here pretty soon.
Yep.
So next, moving on from that, they showed We're not going to go in chronological order because I don't remember what order they were talked about in the press conference. But there's a Harry Potter game coming out.
Yeah, the
and
RPG.
Avalanche is making it. Avalanche is one of my favorite studios. They developed Rage 2. They did all the Just Cause games. That's like their own specific property.
Those are fun. Those
They
are
are
good
fun.
fun. Just dumb, good
Yeah.
fun.
Yep, and Rage is the same way. Like a lot of dumb, good fun in those games. Really kind of massive, expansive worlds to explore. And they were bought by WB Games. I think we talked about it on the podcast like probably about a year and a half ago, somewhere around there. It was like right after Rage 2 came out, WB bought them. And since then, probably, or maybe even before that, they've been working on the fuck is the name of this game, Philip?
Hogwarts Legacy.
Is that it?
Yeah, Hogwarts
Wizards?
Legacy.
That's not it. I don't think that's it.
Yeah, no, it's Hogwarts Legacy.
I'm pretty sure that's not it.
And I'm very certain that that's it. Because
I'll
it's not Harry Potter because
I don't
it's
have
set in the
any, but-
1800s. Oh, would you look at that?
What?
It
This is an ad. Hold on. Hogwarts Legacy. What did you say it was?
Hogwarts Legacy.
Okay, good job. Good job, Philip. Hogwarts Legacy is an immersive, I guess I can read it up here.
RPG type.
Is an immersive open world Harry Potter video game officially revealed. Also coming to Xbox One S. Fucking Christ. Well, maybe
It's
that.
coming
I
to
don't know.
everything.
I'm
They were
pretty sure
talking about it's like coming to everything.
Good.
Pretty much everything.
I was not super, like, I was like mixed feelings about it because I just felt like it was going to be kind of small. Like, what the fuck are you going to do in Hogwarts? It's going to be exciting. Until they were like, and then you can go outside of Hogwarts and it's an open world situation. And then they show him like
shit.
with the fucking pretend rhinoceros that doesn't actually have a horn, but it's like a little animal. And I was like, oh fuck, this
mean
could
like
actually be real fun.
A fantastic beast, if it were, as
If
it
it
were.
were, yes. Perhaps. Yeah. That would be wicked. That would actually be pretty fun.
So Avalanche, I mean, they're known for making like really huge open world games. And I thought at first when they showed like you creating your own character and stuff like that it was going to be some sort of like MMO bullshit. And I was like, oh fuck, they're
Doesn't
going to
quite
ruin
look
this.
like an MMO.
They're going to ruin this.
I saw like I was watching a streamer and they were like, it's not going to be an MMO. They'll all be the same class. And I was like, oh yeah, that's true. We'll all have the same spells and shit. You can be like a dark mage and then a light mage. And that's pretty much it.
You use a death spells or not?
Right, yeah,
There's
like
two
you a
classes.
warlock? You
Are you an
some
asshole?
shit,
Or are
like-
you a preppy little shit?
That's about it. though.
I don't
There you
know.
go.
I think they could
could force
build it
it.
like an MMO for sure. There are
Also-
things they could put into that lore to make it work.
I haven't really read the books in a long ass time, but like for some reason in my brain, I thought that Hogwarts was like exclusively just like the magical place. For some reason in my brain was just Hogwarts and then everywhere else was normal. Is that not true? Because
that's kind
where
of
the
true.
fuck is that beast at? Because I never see that fucking thing running around outside Manhattan.
I mean,
or
in
some
the
shit.
movies, I did read the books, but I remember like scenes from the movies. Like there's a pretty expansive area that Hogwarts encompasses that isn't just the school.
This also is the 1800s. So they're going back, which means this could be taking they're like, if we go back in time, we can take some liberties because magic could be more explored because there's probably less things to record magic stuff. So if they see magic stuff, then they're like, oh, hey, here's all these news clippings. It's 1800s, you know?
Right.
Maybe
So they could
Hogwarts didn't
you could have wizards in England.
Yeah.
You know, just like out and about rather than
Yeah. Well, maybe not necessarily out and about, but like if there's magic creatures around the world and then they were eventually, maybe we're the ones who killed them.
Right.
It's genocide. Huh.
You
But
kill
then,
them by
like, the
not believing like Santa Claus.
And then the magic worlds get smaller and smaller as technology rises as they go forward to the current time. But I don't know.
I don't know. I thought it looked cool. The spells, like even the wand battles didn't look as stupid as they do in the movies. Thought maybe that'd be okay. But I'm not sure, like, what do you do there? Is that some sort of like quick time thing? Or is it like you have to maneuver your wand with the thumbstick to make the symbol of
That's
the...
when you have to get out your Joy-Cons and connect
No,
them.
it's just buttons. It's just buttons on cooldown.
Okay, well, that's lame.
I'm just telling you, that's probably all it's gonna be. I doubt, like, unless they have 500 spells that you can cast, and the only time that you would do that is like if like your right thumbstick didn't do anything.
Expelliarmus.
You could like right thumb click, then press B. Then that's a different spell. Then up thumb click, left spell B. Like, otherwise it's just gonna probably be like A B. Like maybe 6 spells or something.
You only need 2 spells, Expelliarmus and Avada Kedavra.
See?
You can yeet stuff and then kill them. Yeet and die.
Thank you for putting that in terms I could understand, Phil.
And you may have like a directional button where you can flow up to like, but you'll probably only have like Elder Scrolls does on the console where it's only like 6 buttons.
Yeah.
And then you can flip your wand, if you will, into a different wand, if you will. And then it'll be like a defensive wand. And then you can have like,
Flip it backwards.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's the wrong end, Harry.
yeah.
I mean,
like
if
that. Or
if
flip
we're
hands or
going
some shit.
controllers, the entire game is spells.
Yeah.
So that means the face buttons could be interacting with stuff, and then the triggers could be wheels.
Yeah.
You have
Okay.
like this, and you
Yeah.
press those buttons, and
Yep.
there's your spells. You do this,
I
and
hope
Like
not,
wheel,
though.
thumbstick over to fireball.
Yeah.
Wheel, thumbstick over to.
it's all
It's
spells.
almost like a weapon
It's not
wheel.
like you have swords and all this. It's all spells.
Yeah.
That
I
would be
don't-
okay. Especially you've got like a mana pool to draw from. You're fucking running around the arena or whatever.
I don't like the spell wheel.
Yeah, okay, well,
not
it's not
necessarily-
our
it's not-
game. I don't know.
I don't know if it'll be a massive
it
wheel, but
isn't.
like,
I hope it isn't. Is what
well, I
I'm
don't
saying.
want them to have 4 spells.
Yeah, it's not like
8.
fucking Pokemon. Oh, you gotta forget the fireball spell to learn the cadaver spell.
No, that's what happens.
I don't.
That's how that goes.
Oh no, I don't want that at all.
You have like, let me think. There's 5, so there's like 10 spells that you can use, right?
I would-
There might be more. You could do combo buttons. You could do like both triggers at the same time, both bumpers, up bumper, down bumper. Then you've got already another 8 there, another 4. You could do that too. I'm just saying.
I think the wheel's an okay idea.
I'm pretty sure
Wheels are rough.
both triggers
They
are going to be
don't feel
wheels,
good.
and you're going to have like quick select. So then the top ones will be like this quick spell, this
Ah.
quick spell. The other one comes up, and you do wheels. Because I mean, they can include a lot of spells because that's the entirety of wands
combat, yeah.
is spells.
Right.
So I can't imagine that there's not going to be a wheel system.
Ugh. I'll be playing on PC.
It just
Mapping
depends
that
upon
shit.
what they do.
Yeah.
I don't know.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
So
Yay.
mostly going to be single player for this game, I'd imagine. I think that Just Cause 3 had a multiplayer component. Rage 2 did not, but I believe they've dabbled.
There'd be some small co-op because that'd be so much
Co-op would be all right.
some co-op.
Says being restricted to single player, players will get the chance to explore Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry and its surrounding areas, plus new locations while interacting with various characters and solving mysteries. So I'd be all right with that. Overall, I think it is a good idea to make this more or less a single player game. I think it would be stupid to try and do some sort of MMO thing that I don't want to play.
I think it'd be great to have the Harry Potter MMO.
I know, but you like MMOs, and those are
Okay.
kind of like fallen out of favor. Like people aren't really making
No,
new
no, no,
MMOs.
no, 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 no. The reason that they're falling out of favor is because no one can figure out how the fuck to do it right. That's the only reason why. It's not because people don't want them. It's because the fucking makers don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, there's been no confirmation or
sure.
denying of multiplayer yet. So,
Okay,
So
so
far, it's only single player, but hopefully there'll be some form of co-op. It seems like it's too big and too much to do for there not to be co-op. And then also, if there is co-op, you can have there be less to do and it be more fun.
I thought a lot of the art of the game looked a lot like Fable.
Yeah.
So a lot of the characters and the building art kind of looked very Fable-ish to me. The way that you know, it looks like you're running down a path. I was like, holy fuck, this looks like Fable.
And then, cool thing, my wife freaked out about it and was like, ah,
Yeah.
what? It's so bad. And then she told me that the narrator for the trailer is actually the guy who does the audiobooks.
That's cool.
So that's kind of like, dang, you know, maybe they're taking it a bit more seriously too. Because if they're getting the guy who's known for the audiobooks to do the trailer, it'd also be cool. Maybe he narrates the game. I don't know.
Well, there is this is in Fable, but there is a narrator voiceover in Fable. You could get
Maybe
some
it's
sort
just
of like,
Fable. It's just
like
Fable, but Harry Potter.
That's what I think it is.
Let's get some STDs in the Harry Potter one. Because they have that in Fable 2, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of weird shit in Fable and Fable 2.
Yeah, because
I
you
only
can
played
have
Fable
unprotected
1.
sex and get an STD. So
You can't.
played
It's
Fable
weird.
1.
There's one's the one you should play. Absolutely. If you
Killed the
play
whole
one.
town.
I mean,
Made them pay me rent.
I'm sure in Harry Potter they probably have a spell to get rid of that.
They have a spell to get rid of rent.
No, they have a spell to get rid of rashes.
Oh, for
Rashes
sure.
be gonest.
Rashes be gone. Yeah, sometime in 2021. So that's the date here. No specific release date, just 2021. We get a vague idea of when this is going to come out. I am excited for this.
It's intriguing.
This is a different direction than Avalanche has gone with their games before. Like Rage is a pretty mature game. Even Just Cause, I think, has some adult themes.
Yeah.
So it'll be weird for
It's
them
just
to
violence,
kinda like,
guns, and explosions.
yeah.
So.
Yeah, but like weird for them to kind of step back from that. Although I would like to see a motherfucker get like
Ripped in
pieced.
half.
Just ripped in half by a spell.
And then mature
Samuel Jackson
Hogwarts-
steps out, motherfucker, with all these fucking wands.
Yes, I am okay with that. That would be
Let's
all right.
have Samuel Jackson be the villain character in the
Yeah.
1800s Hogwarts.
Yep.
Be like, motherfucking Avada Kedavra, and he just
blows his eyes
I've
up.
had it with all these motherfucking Slytherins in this motherfucking Hogwarts. We about to kill some fucking muggles.
I am
something like that.
okay.
Okay,
Okay.
go ahead.
I am a little sad that like I went on Twitter and expected people to be super excited about it, and then I had to read some bullshit about people being mad at Rowling for it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
She's not involved even.
bruh, just chill. Like,
they had to come out and say that she wasn't involved.
fuck off.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure they just, and then they were like, well, they're paying her royalties.
Well, duh.
Like-
she made
He
it.
made it.
That regardless of whatever the fuck, whether or not you agree with her or not, that's a fantastic fucking story.
Yeah.
That's a great fucking universe. Go fuck yourself. And I'm excited for the fucking.
I am excited for the game. Absolutely.
It's gonna be fun. I'm kind of glad it's not Harry Potter. Because like it's one of those things
for
that
sure,
that's like
yes.
done.
Didn't
yeah.
they
So
make
you-
that game like a couple?
They made
different
all of
ways?
them.
Yeah,
They made all of them. The fourth one was the one I played, which was actually really fun.
I didn't play any of them.
And a lot of people have said like they're kind of that bad good where they're underrated.
Not
I've
a
heard
thing,
from
Philip.
some people.
This like the third time you brought this up. That's not a thing.
It is a thing.
What's not a
I've heard a
thing?
lot of people where like they're not great games, but there's something about them that's like, oh, there's
Just
a
because
little
you
bit of something.
remember them nostalgically does
I'm not even
make them
talking
good
about me. I'm
games.
not talking about me. I played one of them. Talking about other people. Other people have said this on the
No, I
internet.
think that's a thing.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's like Glover, right? Like that was not a fun game, but like it was a fun game because you played it when you were a kid and you remember nostalgically.
Right. But that's all right. I don't
Low
know that
key.
we can
They're
go
low
That's the
key.
thing.
get into that right now.
Okay.
Necessarily.
I'm intrigued. We'll see what happens with it.
I didn't see any Quidditch in this trailer though.
Yeah, there
that's
was. There was
true.
broom
It
action.
was?
I only saw
they
people
lifted a broom.
sweeping.
She was like, bro, I'm going to get on this broom.
Yeah, it's like that scene from Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Fucking grab the broom. That's it. That's all broom you get.
No, she like put it in front of her. She was going to get on it.
But she didn't.
She's gonna
might
get
have.
on it.
Oh, I think she did. Did this cat get closer to me?
Yeah, he's dumb.
What is he doing? I like looked over. He's like, boo.
I love that he's staring at the wall.
Yeah, this is
I'm
my
not gonna look at
favorite
you.
show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now that he knows we're insulting him, he looks at us.
Damn it.
like, "Why?"
All right. So what other games did they talk about, Philip? There wasn't a huge amount of other games, was there?
So at the
I don't
end
even
of it,
remember any
there
other
was-
games.
Oh, I thought we
So
were having a serious
no, he's just teasing on me because they had demon souls.
Ah, there it is.
So I myself am kind of pissed that there were not a lot of people. Like all of the streamers I watched, nobody freaked out about it.
Asmongold did.
What?
Asmongold did.
Okay, then you need to send me that.
Okay, I will.
Because like I was just
Oh, I
staying.
don't know your number.
Send it to him and he'll send it to me.
There you go.
But the entire time, like once I heard the little notes in the music, I'm like, oh, it's Demon Souls. It's
That's
Demon
what he
Souls.
did. He was like, that's the bell
Yeah.
from Demon Soul.
and then I hear the lady in the back like, soul of the lost withdrawn from its veil. I'm like, yes, Demon Souls. And then they start the gameplay, and I'm just like, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit, holy fuck, this looks amazing.
Philip, we already saw it. We knew this was a game. You
But
already
you
knew
didn't
this
have
was coming out?
gameplay. You didn't have gameplay.
Was it just a trailer last time?
It was
I don't
just
even
a trailer.
remember. All right.
This was full-on gameplay, and it looks so fucking good. Because again, I have such vivid memories of the first game that was in 2009 on the PlayStation 3.
I bet that looked good.
No. At the time it was amazing.
Sure, yeah.
But like I had shown, because I showed the trailer to my wife, which she freaked out and was like, whoa. She loved the effects of like the souls going into the guy.
Yeah.
Which looked awesome.
That was cool.
So
Yeah.
much and I was loving seeing the miniature, the particle effects. I'm just like, oh, next gen is just giving us atmosphere and I love it. And then I showed her gameplay of someone playing it. Now, it looked okay. They were playing the emulation on PC, which makes it look better. So I'm like, imagine it looking worse than this. And just like, I am so pumped because that was...
You mean you showed her gameplay of the original 2009
gameplay
version?
of the original 2009 version. However, it was a person playing it on a PC through emulation, which the emulation makes it look better.
Right.
Because it's
They can
running,
dress those up a little bit. Yeah.
Because even then, it's just like, oh, you can pump more hardware in it, and it pumps it. Like I was freaking playing Lord of the Rings: The Third Age on a GameCube emulator, and I pumped up all the settings, and it looked insane. And I'm like, dang. But yeah, so I played the original. I beat it 3 times with my first character, a couple times with my second. So it's the only Souls games that I've actually beaten, and it was, in my opinion, the best of the series because it started it off.
Yeah.
And I liked things that they did. The game was more stylized. The characters were cool. The bosses were cool. You had to solve puzzles instead of just, I'm hard, health, dodge, roll, beat, which is all the Soul series is now. Whereas before you'd be like, okay, what's this boss's weakness? You find that out and then you can win.
Right.
Which I really like. And it just... it looks so good, and it's 60 frames per second and the 4K, and I'm like,
It did look good.
Oh,
there was a lot about it to like for sure.
Like, and to me, like, it's the best looking game that I've seen in trailers so far because, I mean, it looks insane. It's a remake, so Blue Point is really good at that, and they can pretty much put everything into just making it better because the entire game's already there. I can tell that it definitely is like a full remake. Like it doesn't seem like they're reusing any assets. Because as I was watching, since I played it, the animations are different. There's a lot, like it's the same, but it's slightly different.
Yeah.
It seems, so far from what I could tell, it looks like they brought back the original cast and re-recorded. Because that's not the same soundbite for the Maiden in Black, who was the woman in the trailer.
Okay.
But it's the same line and sounds almost exactly the same.
Right.
Which would be awesome if they brought them back. I hope they do. Because she was awesome. And so I'm so pumped. I have it pre-ordered. I'm like,
I'm going to be honest, Phil. I forgot this game didn't come out yet. So when they were talking about the trailer started playing and Rachel and I were watching it, I was like, Blue Point Games. I know that. We talked about who the fuck is Blue Point Games? As it was going through and, he's like hacking people and running right through them and he's like absorbing the souls into himself, which, like you said, did look really cool. It got about to the bosses where it shows gameplay of the bosses. I was like, oh, this is the Demon Souls thing that they were doing.
I will say the one thing I didn't like in the trailer, I don't know why they did this. Like I have to, half don't. He wrecked that whole trailer until he got to the boss.
Yeah,
which that
was
beginning run
comment.
is so much harder.
I was good.
Like he was one hit, like fucking everything up.
Yeah.
And I mean, like even when you get better, like you can kind of run through that, but those guys took multiple hits, and I'm like, okay, he's just overpowered, so it looks cooler for the trailer.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, like the people who know Souls, are like, why does that look so easy? Because I was watching this, I'm like, this is cool. Why is he one-hitting everything? And then he got to the boss and got his ass kicked. I'm like, okay. So they're just making it look cool.
That's what Asmongold said too. He was like, this guy's a fucking, must be overpowered badass. Like, Jesus.
This dude's been power leveling here for like an hour.
All right.
So there's so much good in the aesthetics. Oh, there was one thing I wanted to look over in the trailer because they have a pull-up shot where you see the center, which has the archstones, which is where you teleport, and it looks like they're all there.
Oh,
because in the original game there were 6, but one of them was broken because there was a world they were going to have.
Oh,
They ran out of time.
Yeah, you talked about that.
And
yeah,
so
on the last
we're all
podcast.
still wondering if they're going to add that, which I'm hoping they do.
That'd be cool.
And so I am beyond excited because just when I got it at the time as a young lad, just I
Have you
fell in
played it
love.
recently?
What? Recently, no.
Okay,
And-
so this might be like a Tony Hawk experience for you, and I hope it isn't.
Yeah. Like that it's not as good as it used
Listen,
to be,
I
or
tried to play Tony Hawk and like face planted, and for some reason in my brain, I thought I was like super great at that game, and that I loved that game. And then I went in there and was like, "Who the fuck
Yeah,
played
Tony
that
Hawk is
game for
difficult,
me?"
for
Because
sure.
it wasn't me. Like,
Yep.
or my reflexes are so bad now. Holy shit!
I mean, I've been playing Soul stuff still, so they don't
Okay, well.
play that differently. It's more just like the bosses were designed better, the hitboxes were a bit better, and the world was better. So it's not that different in terms of gameplay, just certain things. And also, this is Blue Point making a remake, and they tend to fix and improve. So I'm imagining that some of the gripes they're changing. I'm hoping that they change the health system. Don't know what exactly they'll do, but we'll see.
Right.
So I'm just so pumped, and I'm glad it's a launch title. So I'm so excited. And in case people are watching this and didn't know, can clear it up. There was an error in terms of the trailer where it had said that it was limited on an exclusivity to PS5 and coming to PC, and that was an error. It is exclusive to PS5, Demon Souls, the remake.
Yeah.
Whereas there was an error in the trailer. At least that's what they're saying.
That's what they're saying
That's
right
what's
now.
Evident. I guess we'll see what happens. I was a little salty when I did see that because I was like, well, this was announced as an exclusive, and I don't want to lose that. If it was announced,
Fuck you.
well, no.
Come on, man.
No, if it was announced to not be an, like, if they announced and said this is going to be PS5 and PC, I wouldn't care. But if they announced it as a PlayStation 5 exclusive, and then it changed.
Let people play the games where they want to play the fucking games. What's it matter to you if it comes to PC? You want to play it on PS5, play it on PS5. You want to play it on your fucking PC, play it on your fucking
Again,
PC.
as I'm saying, if it wasn't announced as an exclusive, I wouldn't care. But they said they announced it as PS5 only. And then if that changed, I can be mad at that because then you lose an exclusive. And like I said, I wasn't like,
can't be
I
mad.
wasn't
What the fuck does it matter? What the fuck does it matter?
I don't know.
All right.
Did you pre-order when they announced it?
No, but I
Okay.
pre-ordered it today. I was waiting for it to pop up on Amazon, and then it did, and I pre-ordered it there.
You're talking about Demon
But
Souls.
I mean,
Demon
like,
Souls,
when they
yes.
initially announced it,
It wasn't up.
It wasn't.
The pre-orders
available
went
for
up
pre-order?
yesterday.
Okay.
And I wanted to wait for Amazon because there's potential for there to be like specials. I honestly wanted them to do a collector's edition or a special edition. I wouldn't care how much I would buy it because this is like way up in tier of how much like I love and I'm excited for a game. This is like I'm as excited for this, but more because I already know it's great as I was for originally Last of Us 2. And I won't have that crash and burn because I already know the fucking game. So I am like,
Yeah, because the last was
so damn pumped.
sequel, obviously. The last game that they showed in the press conference was Spider-Man.
No.
No?
The last game
It was Ragnarok.
was Ragnarok.
Oh, I guess that technically counts. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a teaser for the new God of War game, the sequel to the reboot of God of War.
Soft
So it's a
reboot.
new God of War 2.
No, it's God of War Ragnarok. is
God of
what it's
War
called.
2 reboot.
It's God of War 5, but it's God of War
These
Ragnarok.
fucking naming conventions
Well,
are
because God of
goddamn
War,
shit
God of
show.
War is not a reboot. It is a gameplay reboot, but the story is a continuation. It's a direct sequel to 3.
Oh, right. But it's just called God of War.
Yeah,
And the first game was called God of War.
yeah,
Oh. So it's
You could
all
just
right.
let it go.
yeah.
no, I can't. I don't. I
It's
don't
the
do
reason
that
they call it
very
God
well.
of War is because they changed the gameplay system. It is a reboot of how the game plays, but the story is a continuation.
God of Wars then.
Yeah,
So
sure.
it's multiple wars.
yeah.
Okay.
But this is Ragnarok.
Yeah.
That one won't be so hard to figure out what it is. It's Ragnarok.
So this is Sony's version of the Thor movie from a couple years ago,
Yeah,
right?
definitely going to be that. Going to get Taika in there and they'd be like,
Take
Hey
it
there,
in there.
Kratos. I have the son. Seems you lost your axe. Gonna fight with Thor? Yeah, I'm a rock. Go over there. That'd be great.
That would be great. Please, if you're listening, Sony, make that happen.
Get Taika in there somewhere, please. I will say, like, when that music plays, I love that score.
Yeah.
The music. Woof. So I did not expect them to announce that. I really didn't. I really wanted them to.
There was no gameplay or anything,
No.
just very, very bare bones. Here's a visualization of
I'm
what
imagining it'll be like December 21,
logo might look
if
like.
it comes out in 21, actually.
Yeah, because you and I argued about that a little bit
I would
as to when it would come
that
out. And
if it comes out December, that's 3 years, which I think is a reasonable considering that they have the engine.
right.
And listening to what Corey was able to do in 4 years with remaking a whole new engine, I think he could manage a sequel in 3.
Who's Corey? This
Corey
is the
Barlog is
one
the
guy
director.
making the game.
The director of God of War and God of War 3. Like,
He was
Yeah.
Sony Santa Monica then.
yeah, Sony Santa Monica. Well, I don't think he runs Santa Monica. He's just like the director of God of War. Like he's the creative director of that game.
Gotcha.
And I went deep into the making of,
Ah.
and the crap he pulled to get that game made is insane. And he was very deserving of winning the director award because just what he had to do to get it made was very to be commended, I guess I could say.
Yeah.
And so I'm very pumped for the next one. And so I'm pumped. I'm happy, and I hope they keep the release date. I'm betting late holiday,
Right.
or delayed to 2022. Which I don't care if it's delayed. Make it a good game. Which the other one was really good. I didn't notice like issues. So I think with that series they'll make sure that it's good going out.
Yeah. There were parts of the Spider-Man gameplay thing that I thought did not look great.
Yeah, there was a mix where I thought like some of the special effects and the flying around was cool.
Yeah.
And then other parts, it was a roller coaster of like, good, no. I'm like, where's Spider-Man? Like, is he dead or something? Like, I don't know what the storyline is, but I
Right.
was kind of hoping like maybe at the end of the trailer he'd show up to help because it's like something bad's going down. Where's Peter? Not that we have to play as Peter, but like he should be doing something.
And in that particular gameplay sequence where he holds the bridge together,
yeah.
fuck, how many times have I seen that visualized?
Every
like
Spider-Man's
every
gotta do
single
it.
Spider, like he's pulling the bridge together with his arms and his webs because he's so strong.
They have to have Spider-Man in the Jesus pose. That's just what they got to do.
I guess, sure.
I wish they would embrace it.
But that kind of annoyed me. Like I've seen this before. Sure, yeah, but he's gonna hold it together with his fucking arm.
Because they know people are going to go, oh, he's doing the thing.
He's doing the thing. I told you via our chat that we were having. I think Spider-Man's going to be the only game I get at launch because
Are you going to get the Ultimate Edition that comes with the remaster of the PS4 version? Because there's the regular edition.
Is that only on disc? Because I'm not going to get a disc game.
I'm pretty sure it's digital. It's just whether or not you get the regular edition, which is just the Miles Morales stuff for $50, which we don't know how big it is. I'm imagining it's not going to be huge,
Right.
but we don't know because it's basically the bargain price of $40, but everything went up $10.
Right.
Yay.
That was
But
part
then
of
they have
news
the I mean, it's right there. News. And then for $70 they have the Ultimate Edition, which comes with the mouse stuff, and then a remaster of the PS4 one, which I would recommend because that one's good. Which it should have all the DLC, so it's not a bad deal.
Sure. I don't know. I've got to remember my login for my fucking Sony account. I do have one from the PS3 era. I assume that still works.
I mean, yeah. You could also make a new one if it's been that long.
No, I'm getting the old one, Philip.
You pull it up and you have like one trophy. There's my one bronze trophy.
Yep, I got one bronze trophy from Hayes when I rented that game from the fucking video store. That game
It's
was
just, why did you
terrible.
play this?
Yeah, why did you play Hayes? Hayes was bad. Look cool though. Fucking cover look cool.
Oh yeah, I remember that. And they're like, "This is the Halo killer."
No, it was not that.
It was not.
So I think Spider-Man's probably going to be the only launch game that I get because they did come out and talk about a Game Pass like thing that they are going to do on PlayStation now. So I think Jim Ryan was on screen. He talked about the PlayStation Plus collection, which is coming to PS5. I don't know if it's also coming to PS4. They were kind of cagey about that. Like a lot of the backwards compatible stuff, they ever, sometimes they said this, sometimes they said that. But the PS Plus collection is coming to PS5 and is going to be bundled in with the PlayStation Plus subscription, your $60 or whatever a year. I think it's on sale for $40 sometimes. So that way, that's a cured collection of games that you can get that Sony, just like Game Pass, you download the games, you play the games for as long as they're part of the subscription service. And much smaller list of games. Game Pass is 100 games, but they talked about 8. I think that they showed.
8.
Was it?
I think it was 10 maybe.
So it was like at least 6 first party titles, and then a couple, just a handful of non first party titles.
List, but I think it was more than 8.
Gotcha. 8 to probably say like max 15 then.
Yeah,
like 8 to 15.
8 to 15, somewhere in that range.
And a lot of first party stuff, like I was saying, I think God of War might have been in there.
Yeah, it was.
Horizon, I think, was one of them. It was some older ones.
Horizon,
I don't think Spider-Man was on that list, though.
No, which would make sense.
Yeah, Days Gone for sure was one. Battlefield 1.
Battlefield 1.
I mean, who the fuck wants to play Battlefield 1? Monster Hunter Worlds was on there.
Fallout 4.
Yep, Fallout 4. Yep, and I do love Fallout 4 for sure.
I didn't, but...
So that's cool. I mean, it's not exactly a competitor to Game Pass, but I like that they are
doing something
at least. And for
maybe
me,
if people like it, they'll add more to it.
Well, when Jim Ryan was asked about it, he came out and was like, "This is specifically for people who didn't buy a PS4. Like, I am in the market for the exact, like, I'm the person that he's selling this to, right? Like, I wouldn't get PS Plus if it wasn't for this collection thing, because I won't play the games online. I'm only going to play the single player games. But now I'll probably buy a PS Plus subscription
because you get to play a lot.
Because I can play those 4 or 5 games that are in that subscription. Mostly first party stuff that I have never played before because I didn't have a PS4.
Yeah.
And
a lot of those games are very worth the play, and it's good for if like you don't have people who have the discs.
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
So they revealed the price. The PlayStation 5 regular edition is $500, and the disc-less drive edition, disc-drive-less digital edition is $400. It's $100 less to get the digital edition. So I was talking to Oscar, friend of the pod, been on the pod, Oscar, and I told him, he asked me which version I was going to get. And I told him the disc version just because you buy all your games on disc.
Yeah.
And I don't know how Oscar's going to get his games, but it just seems like if I'm not going to be buying that many games for the PlayStation 5, which I won't, it'll only be first party stuff, better just go with the disc drive. That way...
I mean, like I said, if you borrow 2 games from me, you've already saved that money. Right.
So I think Oscar is probably going to get the digital version just because he's a little strapped for cash. And I appreciate that Microsoft and Sony are both being pretty conscientious about the prices.
Yeah.
So like if you think back to the PS3 launch, that motherfucker was $600. I think we talked about that last time, and that was your option. You have a $600 console, and that's it. So this time out, Sony's like, okay, we'll do the discless.
Well, it wasn't even that. They did that with the PS4. The PS3 was just horrid. So the PS4 they brought in.
I mean, even the PS4 didn't have a cheaper option. It was just the $400 option, which is a good price. Like, that $400 is completely reasonable price. To pay for a console, I think.
And I mean, at the time, they didn't necessarily either, because it was the Xbox One and then the PS4. They didn't really have other versions because digital wasn't as big. Right. Over these 7 years, digital has just
exploded. Yeah. Each year that begins to go up, all the digital sales.
The other thing for me that is very important on the disc version is I like owning physical movies. So being able to get the 4K Ultra HD discs will be nice.
Is that the official name of that hardware set?
I don't
4K Ultra HD.
Yeah, it's something
Jesus
like that.
Christ.
I mean, that's on the boxes of you see instead of it being blue, it's black.
Okay.
It's like 4K Ultra HD. Blah 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 blah.
Okay.
How much?
Mega.
Xbox?
The Xbox One X, Series X. Fuck!
Right?
God damn it. The
Okay.
Xbox Series X is $500, $499, and the PS5 is also $499.
So same price?
Same price.
What's the S? 400?
The S is $299, so $300 buy-in.
But
The
it is.
Xbox is less money for the
But the
digital
S
version?
is.
The S
less.
is not just diskless, though. So it does not have a disk drive. It is digital only, but it is also less potent. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Oh, that one doesn't have 4K.
It does do, well, yeah.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what
really.
happens. I don't know what they're going to do.
I do think Sony was kind of good in that area of doing the $100 difference because it only makes it $100 more for the digital version. So that might pull some more people away from the S.
Sure.
Because the S, while being a good deal for digital, it's less powerful is the only thing where the PS4s, both of them are PS5. Fuck! Colin was right. We're all so fucking jeez.
Yeah, he was right.
I keep typing PS4 too.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
fuck!
Fucking backspace.
7 years. His tail's twitching when we're saying fuck. Oh, that's funny.
He's upset.
He's upset. We're sorry, Optimus.
Poor kid.
Poor kitty. We're upsetting the kitty. But yeah, it that kind of gives them a good middle ground to, you know, I think if they're available at least to pull some
Yeah.
people away from the S.
So let's talk about that availability before we move on to some other stuff here. So
Did you get a pre-order?
I did.
Did I get a pre-order?
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
So
we
Philip,
did.
Philip texted me yesterday night,
Yeah.
and he goes, I just picked up my PS5. Pre-orders went live on Walmart, and I went to Walmart, and I typed in PS5, couldn't find it. Like
you
from
had
their
to go to
search
the
bar,
link, yeah.
from their search bar, I only got games and
Walmart's
accessories.
search bar is trash.
Well, no, it
That's
was all
probably
of them.
part of it.
All of the sites could only go for direct links for until like midnight because nothing could really search.
So I texted Philip and I'm like, I don't see how to pre-order it, man. And he goes, I found it through Cheap Ass Gamer. We talked about that
You
guy.
guys are awesome.
Yep.
Thank you for what you do.
Excellent work.
We'll tag them and see if maybe they'll like us.
Then I followed their link from the Twitter. So I went to Twitter, typed in Cheap Ass Gamer, got on their account, found the link to Walmart, went to Walmart,
Got it.
added it to my cart, got to the payment page,
Dang.
and could not check out. By the time I logged into my fucking Walmart account, remember the goddamn password, and logged in to do the checkout, it was gone. I got to the end part where it's like, excuse me. I got to the end part where it's like, choose your shipping options and hit the checkout button. I hit the button and nothing happened. Your items are
Shipping
gone.
is
This
too
item's
slow.
gone. So I'm like, motherfuck.
I got a very angry text from
So I did. I texted and I'm sorry. I was rude.
I was like, I'm sorry. I was so caught up
Why
in
the
moment.
fuck didn't you just send me that link? You.
And I was like, I honestly forgot you were wanting to get a PS4 because
I was mad.
Xbox.
I was
and then I'm
mad.
like, oh right, yeah. And then once I was, because I had been following like refreshing Twitter like the moment after. Once Jeff was like, hey, some people might open it early. I was on Cheap Ass Gamer, refresh. Walmart's live. Okay, cool. So I went to my computer and spent so long trying to get my computer to turn on because I
Right.
know what was going on. And then I got in, got the order, and I was like, should I pre-order at Walmart? I don't know. And then I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. So I got the PS5, got 2 controllers because I was stupid and completely forgot that the console comes with a controller, but it worked out anyway because he's going to get my other one. So I have 3 controllers coming because I'm an idiot. But then I did the pre-order, got it. I'm like, oh, cool. And then I'm like, hey, I got mine. And you're like, motherfucker, why didn't you send me the link? And I'm like, oh, shit. And then I sent you the link to Target.
Yep, I got the link to Target. I was actually already on Target ordering it because I was following. I went to Cheap Ass
You were
Gamer
following it just
and I
like
was
me,
paying
yeah.
attention about when they were tweeting. So they tweeted the link to Target, went to Target, got my pre-order, put that all through. So I do have a PS5 coming. I was one of the lucky ones, it seems.
Yeah.
And a bunch of news broke this morning that websites were broken.
Oh my gosh.
Because people were trying to buy these things.
Freaking,
it was a fucking shit show.
it was
Even on
funny.
Target. Even on Target, like
Yeah.
I clicked the button and it was like X, like whatever shipping options aren't available. And I was like, horse shit. So I sat there with my phone while I was paying attention. Just click, and just waited for it to go through. I'm like, if I get 6 of these, I guess I get 6 of these. Click. So
I guess I was so lucky because the Walmart thing, like a breeze, snap done.
Really?
I must have like gotten right in at that moment before it exploded. Because then they crashed GameStop to where the site thought it was under a DDoS attack.
Yep. Yeah, a bunch of people got notifications saying that they've been blocked.
Yeah.
By GameSpot.
It was funny. I'm like, I'm not doing anything. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? But because it was funny when I went to Target, I was originally planning on doing the accessories through them, like the headset, the camera, and stuff. But they didn't let me send it to a store, and I didn't want it coming to my house because I wasn't sure about changing the address.
Right.
And because I'm moving. But Walmart let me send it to a store, which it's going to. And then at like midnight or whatever, I don't remember exactly when, but Best Buy kind of cooled off and you could order accessories. So through them, I got the headset and the camera going to the store because I figured the camera's going to be for the PlayStation VR at some point, the new one.
Yeah.
And I remember when the PlayStation 4 first came out, for probably about 2 years, that camera was really hard to get. It was gone all the time.
Well,
and
they probably didn't make that many of them. Bigger people.
Yeah, they just sold out anywhere. I don't know. It did surprisingly well for them. Everybody, I think they were shocked because they're like, well, we're not going to force you to get it. And everybody's like, okay. And then I won it.
Yeah, and then Microsoft forced you to get it. Well, I don't fucking want that piece of shit.
Like, yeah, I don't want the Kinect that's
bullshit.
technically better. I want the thing you're not making me get.
Fucking people are the worst, man.
I was tempted to pre-order Demon's Souls at a couple of different places, but I'm gonna wait for Amazon because I know I can change the address.
Right.
I like their shipping. I have the credit card through them, whatever, and they don't charge you until it ships, which I like.
Yeah.
So I did that with Demon's Souls.
On Cheap Ass Gamers feed, when they put out the Target and the Walmart links, just scrolling through, obviously, comments is the fucking worst on Twitter. And there was a lot of people saying that, but also there was a lot of people going like, oh, I'll wait till it goes live on Amazon. Oh, wait till it goes live on Best Buy. I'm like, you're a fucking moron if you do that. Like, if you have the money and you want one of these fucking things, buy it while you can. That's really stupid.
That's why I was glad I did at Walmart. I'm like, I can send it to the store.
Doesn't
safe
matter.
in the store.
Doesn't matter
Safe
where
in
it
the
comes
store.
from.
And because GameStop crashed, just dead in the water.
Right.
Best Buy was just so slow that you could put it in your cart but just never get to the cart. So it was like,
oh my God,
it's right there.
I didn't have any trouble. Like, Target's website was fast and responsive, other than the thing where it did not really want me to check.
Because I think you and I were like right in that sweet zone of before it exploded. Walmart especially. Like, I was thinking it was going to sell it in a few seconds. That's why I was really mad at my computer because it took like 10 minutes to boot because it just didn't want to turn on. And I'm like, son of a bitch. But then I got it. And then, Amazon evidently did some shady shit where they apparently had a private link that went to some people privately.
I would imagine it's their Twitch streamers.
Yeah, probably.
Like they
who then
fucking make
sold
sure
out
those
all
people
sold out all their pre-orders, and then they went live and go, oh, look, you can order it now. It's sold out.
Yep.
So.
I'm 100% sure that went to Twitch streamers.
Fuck you, Ninja.
As it should.
Oh my God.
Listen, it's capitalism. What do you think?
No, it's a monopoly.
Yeah, monopoly. It's just Amazon.
So let's see here. Got a couple more little news bits. So Jim Ryan is the CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment. He was asked by a couple, I think it was an interview with the BBC that he did. He was asked specifically about whether or not Sony would do any sort of Game Pass competitor. And as we kind of already said, they're doing that a little bit, but not really. So he said he does not believe that Game Pass is sustainable. The quote here is, PlayStation is about big blockbuster games that cost a lot of money to make. So a similar subscription service model would not make fiscal sense. Financial sense. Thank you.
I think in some instances I can understand that maybe a bit more on Sony's side because a lot of people that go for it are going for those first party exclusives. And if people would be screaming at them to put that in their version of Game Pass, and then if they did, that would be. I don't know. I mean the
Yeah, I think
bringing in
making the
old
collection
games,
old games is fine. Like that is a good.
And
I
it's
think
included.
I think that's a good
included,
step.
yeah.
Like I don't know why people would expect Sony to make that step. Like that's not what they're about. They're not a subscription service company. Like that's not their base in the same way that is Microsoft's base to a T.
I think they're also trying to like ask the question so that way people can get mad at them for them saying we're not really going to do that, and everybody's like, why not? Ah! And then you being a person who's like,
That
I
is
have
how
Game
people
Pass, but
sound.
that's not really what Sony does, and you're like, I don't care, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah. I mean, I like the PlayStation Plus connection. That's cool. Like some of the games, you know, there's a couple that I'll try. There's some that I have, which I'll just use the disc. But I like the idea. So
He said in the interview that their games regularly cost over $100 million to make. So I'm sure that's true with marketing budgets, especially.
Yeah.
That takes up a sizable amount of TV, like movie budgets too, is marketing. You gotta pay out the ass for that kind of stuff. He was also asked about backwards compatibility back in the day. And he said that backwards compatibility is one of those features that people won't use and don't really want. They think they want it, but they don't really want it. When Microsoft was, and they're still going hard with the backwards compatibility stuff. So my question to you guys is, they walked back the backwards compatibility statement from a couple of years ago when Microsoft announced that stuff, because PS5 will have compatibility with the PS4 games.
yeah.
Do you think they keep this up where they do not have a Game Pass competitor?
I mean, yeah. I feel that if the PlayStation Plus collection does well, they might start adding some more stuff to it, and maybe down the line they'll start doing some of the PS. I mean, we're probably going to try to get some stuff anyway with the PS5s, PlayStation Plus, because PlayStation Plus has been around. You get the free game, so hopefully they'll be doing some better options on that. So I am not super worried because I haven't had it, and I mean, in some instances, it's not quite the same, but I feel, and they'd never do it, but I feel, and they would have announced it, which kind of was a bummer, they should put PlayStation Now into PlayStation Plus,
Yeah.
because that kind of is Game Pass almost in a sense, because they
It's
have a
game
lot of
streaming.
yeah,
Right.
which you have a lot of the PS4 games on it that you can then play, and it's $10 a month. It's almost the same. It's just streaming instead.
Yeah.
So I feel that it'd be cool if they just brought that into Plus, because then that would make it even more valuable.
What about you, Rachel? What do you think?
I don't know.
On just the Game Pass or backwards compatibility?
I mean, both.
They might go backwards compatible, but as far as like Game Pass goes, like I don't know if people want like a Game Pass. Like it's cool and literally everyone's doing it, but when you incentivize the Game Pass, like you de-incentivize single player games that cost a lot of money up front. And like I don't know if Sony's trying to do that. And if they are, they might win that battle.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think we maybe have already hit it, but like a tipping point for people not wanting microtransactions, or at least gamers drawing a line between like you either can have a subscription base or microtransactions, or you can have a free-to-play game, only microtransactions for cosmetics,
Right.
but no play to win.
Yeah.
So I think people are trying to figure out the line, and I don't think Sony's ready to make that decision yet, or they are not sure if they have enough. If they're putting all their money in like God of War or
Like
Horizon,
the single player.
experience.
Yeah.
Which
My
seems
guess
to be
is-
their play thus
Right.
far.
I don't think that they should go. It won't make fiscal. It won't make fiscal sense to have Game Pass.
Yeah,
in.
single player games in a Game Pass system wouldn't make as much sense, whereas you get like the multiplayer and some other maybe.
Yeah,
small
you
ways
want
to-
people to have a free a free experience or an initial experience to get them hooked, so that
Quote
they
unquote
buy.
free experience,
Right.
right? With Halo and with
So that they'll
Bleeding
buy-
Edge, and Grounded is another good example
Yeah.
of Game Pass games that have multiplayer hooks in them.
Yeah, so I don't know that it makes sense yet for Sony to do that unless they change their model. And I think what would be smart for them is to just embrace that and just say, we want to make single-player games, no microtransactions, which means we're not a subscription-based service.
I think that's pretty much what they've already said. That they're primarily only
I don't
making...
think they've used those words.
No.
They
They've not...
use words like it doesn't make financial sense. And to a gamer, that's not the words you need to use. You need to say, we don't want microtransactions if you want to sell that service.
Yeah, I wonder why he measured his words in this way. Like, why say something like
who was
this?
The interview with
BBC.
That's why.
Yeah.
Like, he's not being interviewed by Ninja, right? He doesn't.
Or even a gaming thing. It's
yeah,
just BBC.
He's not thinking about the fact that he's probably talking on behalf of his shareholders.
Yeah.
As opposed to speaking to his gaming audience that's buying the games.
I can go off of your point, which if Sony keeps doing what they're doing, which would be smart, is to continue on the more singular focused big AAA of that first party title. That will be good for them because that's what they did with PS4. And if they keep doing that, people can then go to them for that. But if they do, hey, we're Game Pass as well, then it really even smudges the line even more over which to get.
Yeah.
I would say also what'll end up happening for PlayStation, if they embrace that logic, is they'll actually just increase the price of upfront games that are exclusive.
So they already did that. That was they increased it to $70 for first party Sony games.
Yeah.
That's their play then.
Yeah.
Which they've already been, I guess that's just the official. This isn't just a couple people. This is going to be the jump next gen is 70.
I mean, Ubisoft and Microsoft both came out and said $60 is their price point. So I think we could potentially have a generation where those things are different based on publisher, because the publishers are get to decide what they charge for their games. So both Ubisoft and Microsoft both said $60
for everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
All the way
we'll have to see how well that how long that stays. If Sony goes with it and more people go, that might change quickly. I don't know.
Yeah.
It'll be.
I think Nintendo too said 60 for their games.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. They're on a Switch.
think-
They ain't got a 4K system yet. They go, we're gonna go $70 too. Then Nintendo can go fuck themselves in that respect. They barely got 1080p, 30 frames per second.
I think what will end up happening is older gamers will end up moving towards Sony if that ends up happening. Because, like, the microtransaction model tends to favor towards children or younger people for, like, cosmetic purposes and stuff. And I feel like older gamers are going to end up moving towards Sony.
And I guess my mention on the backwards compatibility is we already know it's... So far, they're seeming that it's fully PS4, like everything on PS4.
99% is what Jim Ryan said.
Yeah, basically.
He didn't say at launch, but he said 99%.
Well, I know that they've kind of, there's been some up and down, and because what I have read is that the comment was like, they pretty much they've been working on making sure that the games work without issues and they can be upscaled. I think any PS4 game will work. Just whether or not it will be upscaled properly and function fully properly with an upscale is what they're working on.
Right.
And that has been when they first announced the 100 games and then going forward. But as far as I know, it should just be most things are going to work well. And then for going further back, which they already said they're not doing PS1, PS2, or PS3, that doesn't really bother me because, I mean...
Because fuck those games.
No, but like going that far back, you eventually get to the point when I'm like, in some instances, it'd be kind of cool to play up something, but I've been away from those games for so long. And then you get some pretty good remasters, which is where like a remake, or I should say not like remakes. I like remakes more than remasters, where you get ground up, really good new things, and then it can kind of revitalize. And, you know, I already figured they probably wouldn't do that because they have the PlayStation Now, which has a lot of that stuff. So I want them to roll that into PlayStation Plus very much. I don't even care if they would make PlayStation Plus like $5 more a month to have PlayStation Now included, or not $5 a month, but you could add $10 a year to the PlayStation Plus subscription, but put PlayStation Now in it. I would be fine with that.
Right.
Because give me that streaming option and, you know, the choice.
So this is the last bit of news here. So Sony came out, and I believe it was Jim Ryan again, that said Sony believes in generations. We talked about this on the podcast when he said it, because it did come across. It was directed at Microsoft, saying that they were going to be putting their games on the Xbox One and the newer Xboxes for 2 years from now. They will be simultaneously releasing versions on all 4, as it were, consoles. You can no longer buy those consoles, but they're still going to be making games for them for their current install base. And now he had to eat his words a little bit here as well.
Dumb.
Because now Jim Ryan says it's all about choice. So after the announcement happened the other day, he came out and said that there would be PS4 versions of Spider-Man, which I think we knew already.
Yeah.
Of Demon's Souls?
No,
of that
PS5 only. Horizon,
like a handful of first-party
It was Spider-Man and
PlayStation
Horizon
games.
is what they had said.
And people were very, very upset to know that there were going to be PS4 versions, and they brought it on themselves.
Yeah.
Because they
did.
specifically said, we can't make these fucking games unless it's on a PS5. And then they came out and said, oh, by the way, we're also making these games not on a PS5.
Yeah.
Like, go fuck yourself. Which one is it?
Horizon surprised me. Spider-Man, I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much already known. Whatever, I don't care. That's that close. Horizon, I'm a little like,
Did he mean it for future games, though? Just in general, they believe in generations?
So they waffle back and forth on this shit all the time, and it seems to be they just say whatever's the most convenient to fuck Microsoft. Could be 100% honest. That is what it seems like. Every time that this is brought up, they're like, gamers are mad about this? Well, here's how it is on PlayStation. Oh, okay. Yeah,
I have a feeling that there is some miscommunication between Sony in America and Sony in Japan, and Jim Ryan is just speaking out of his butt. And it's like, dude.
I mean, that is absolutely a possibility. Let's be 100%.
I said left and you went right.
Yeah.
Dude. Like,
your other left.
But yeah, Horizon, I'm like,
I'd imagine that he actually meant for like future games. Because it makes sense that like your first 4 games or something, or the games that you release in the same year of the PS5 that are exclusive would be also on the PS4.
Yeah, but
a couple of them aren't, but they were
he
more
specifically
talking about,
was talking about like Sony's first party output not being able to be played on a PS4. Like you could not make those games run at the fidelity in which they want them to, and the timing in which like the worlds need to load and all that bullshit that the PS5 is supposedly capable of absolutely cannot be done on a PS4.
I guess
and then
we'll
here they
have
are
to
on fucking PS4.
see what the difference is, because it could come down to being if they have a separate part of the team and it's not actually really taking, they just dumb the crap down like how they do computers low settings and
Well,
shift
right.
it over,
That was
like,
Microsoft's point when they
'cause-
talked about the multiple consoles. It was like, this shit happens on PC every day.
Yeah.
Like you optimized for X setups. This is what it is.
I mean, there are some slight difference in consoles because you could just put the same focus and maybe they have another team. I don't like it. It is what it is. I wonder if it'll kind of be in that moment of like when Shadow of Mordor, the Lord of the Rings game, was coming out, and they had the PS4 and Xbox One versions, and then maybe half a year down the line, they had a PS3 and maybe a 360 version that was a port, and it was god awful because they just had to make it run, and it was as potato as a potato could be.
Right.
So I don't know if we'll kind of get that range. And I mean, I'm sure there's going to be ones that'll.
Sony will do that because Sony doesn't want to ever put out a first party title that's garbage.
Yeah.
Like you can.
Well, I mean,
let
like not
WB
like it would
Games
be
do
that
this.
bad, but like there could be a substantial difference.
Oh,
That's what I was hoping. So,
I'm guessing there will be differences for sure, but you would hope that they would take the time to optimize it on PS4 if they're going to put the game out on PS4. I saw a large swath of people being upset about this on Twitter
to
and
me, it
various
makes
news
sense
outlets.
because do they want to get rid of 100 million people?
Right, there's 120 million PS4s. That's your install base. Like, there's no fucking way you're going to lose out on those sales for Horizon just because you want to prove a point about wanting to make next gen
They
games.
just should be a little smarter
Like-
about what they say.
And like when
They're not like outright lying and outright saying things,
that's-
but they're kind of saying things that it's like you should not insult. You're not lying,
Right.
But you.
the video that Oscar sent me, I didn't get to watch it yet, but it was basically some guy yelling on YouTube like Sony lied. Like, sure, I guess technically
Didn't,
they
but
did technically
they're
lie.
kind of being buttholes. They're like, well, that's just like a dumb,
when it all comes down to it, I mean, Sony regularly makes decisions that are best for the business.
Yeah.
In this last generation, that has aligned with what consumers have wanted.
Yeah.
So there aren't single player games anymore. Sony says, fuck, I'm making single player games. That's what we're going to do. We're going to make these crazy, awesome $100 million story based experiences. That's our niche. That's what we're about.
They do well.
And they did well. They did super well. But their business has not always lined up with what the consumers have wanted. Yeah. In the past, it didn't line up in the PS3 era. It happened to line up in the PS4 era. So there are only so many times where they can be like, that's not what the fuck we're doing. That's not what people want. Before people kind of be like, yeah, it is. That is what we want, actually.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're still going to carry pretty well with the single player.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. They've still been able to fill that niche. I'm not saying that they'll do something drastically different from there. But yeah, some of the comments, maybe Jim Ryan should shut the fuck up.
Yeah. I would agree. Hopefully after this week, they'll kind of be like, okay,
no more interviews for you.
Let's think for like 2 minutes and then talk.
Right.
Because, yeah, I mean, as long as it doesn't hold it back, which we'll see.
Right.
You know, I mean, give the PS4 crazy load times, less graphics, less everything, and they can have it. It just better be a fucking masterpiece on the PS5 if you're going to put that on the PS4. And I mean, I in the end, I get it because it's, the 100 million people. It's like what I was saying with the Demon Souls thing, where it's like if you can just announce it as this instead of saying it's something like announce as an exclusive and then it changes, that's when I'm like, okay, I get it, but I'm still kind of like, you said something.
Yeah.
You didn't fully lie, but I don't like what you're changing. So, I'm not fully bothered because it makes sense. They got 100 million people. That way they can kind of make some of their budget and then throw more shit in.
Last bit of news here. Mass Effect is getting a remaster. This has not been announced yet by EA, but they...
Is that the scoop or what?
This is a crazy train of thought scoop here.
Oh, okay.
So it was
Remaster or
listed...
remake?
Remaster is what the wording says. I don't know. But there was a Brazilian website, gaming website, that listed a Mass Effect trilogy remastered version. And I don't know if they put a release date, but the release date was 2020.
Coming to Nintendo Switch only.
Yeah, fuck off. Let's hope not.
1080p.
That's not a
2 frames per
remaster. Mass Effect is getting remastered. This was shared on a Brazilian gaming site, I think, a gaming sales site. So they listed it for sale and then immediately took it down because they couldn't do that. But then the cover leaked. I don't know if it was from that listing or not, but there's like if you look online, Mass Effect Trilogy cover, like a game cover, has made its rounds online. And now there is a listing on Amazon for the Mass Effect 2 ship, the Normandy. And it said, the listing on Amazon says, Mass Effect 2 Normandy, parentheses, remastered version. So absolutely getting a remastered version of, like, why would they would not list that ship? Like, how are you gonna remaster a statue? They're obviously
they remastered the statue.
Referencing
it looks nicer. They made new paint.
Added some pixels to it.
Yeah. It's a favorite store in the Citadel.
Which I pre-ordered. So I'm getting that fucking statue.
Well, there we go. We'll have a statue.
It's my birthday present.
Okay. That's
to me. All right.
good.
So I'm pretty excited about a Mass Effect remaster for sure. Those are some of my favorite games from last generation.
I did greatly enjoy 2. 2 was the one I played a lot of. I played a very small amount of 1, and I don't think I played any of 3, but I really liked 2.
Yeah.
I mean, when I got to play 2, I think it was the PS3, and they only got 2 at the time.
Yeah.
And you had you could make some choices from the first one.
Yeah.
Which there were some things that kind of stunk that I missed from the first one. But
The first one doesn't play very well. The second one is kind of where they start to hit their stride. I still think 2 is probably my favorite. 2 is such a good story.
I think it's one of those things where it just like hit everything. Mm-hmm. Just everything.
Yeah, that's kind of the sweet spot between RPG and action elements. And I'm excited for, like my sister, for instance. She's been on the podcast a couple times. She would not have played Mass Effect, but she would probably be in for a remastered version by this time. I have a couple cousins too that were probably too young to play Mass Effect. That like this could hit another segment of people. Like
yeah.
I like Mass Effect a lot. I want those games to continue. I really like.
Probably
that
got to
world.
reinvigorate some love in the franchise after Andromeda.
After Andromeda. Yeah, that's a fucking shit show.
After potatoes in space.
All right, we're going to get out of here. Thank you so much for listening. This has been Crazy Train of Thought episode, wherever the fuck we're on, brought to you by the Idiot Savants. I've been your host, Ryan Wolf. Thank you, Philip, for being on. Thank you, Rachel, for joining us for our chat tonight. Check us out on Twitter, Instagram, website, theidiotsavants.co. I put in a bunch of work to the website, so let us know.
Show your
if you like it.
appreciation.
Got some of the merch listed on there. You can find our merch on our social links in the bottom of the show notes. We got some t-shirts on sale on Teespring. Some of the t-shirts are pretty cool. I designed them, so let me know if they
you
suck.
better think they're cool.
Let me know if they're not cool, because then I'll make different ones.
Ryan's a nerd. He can't make a good shirt.
Yeah, fucking shirt guy. All right, we're gonna get out of here. Thank you.
Everybody
Good
go
night.
pre-order a PS5. Oh, wait.
Okay. Yeah, you can't do that. All right.
That's all, folks.
What the fuck?